Hey Gloopies! How y'all doing today? We got a nice little Karabi friend with us here today. Hi, Vil.
Hi everybody! Hi Ava! Thanks for having me on for today.
Thank you for coming on. I know we've been playing this for a little while, so I'm very excited that we gotta do it today.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I know that normally, you do these sex ed streams, but today, we're not talking about sex. We're talking about feet.
I mean, it's like adjacent.
It is adjacent. I know that obviously you talk about different kinks and stuff, but I just find it hilarious that you're having like an asexual on stream and it's like, hey, let's talk about sex ed, and I'm like, hey, how about no sex?
I mean, you're not the first asexual I've had on stream, actually.
Oh God,
that is true. I do know that. Yeah. Which I appreciate, by the way.
Hey, it's important. You gotta show all the sides, right?
Exactly. And also, like, even for asexuals, it can still be like an important topic, or it definitely is an important topic. But, yeah, no, I'm super. Ever since you said you wanted me to come on and talk about feet and foot fetish stuff, I was really excited because I knew that. I mean, one, obviously, it's a topic I'm interested in, but also I knew it would be. I don't know, maybe it'd be enlightening for other people, either for people who are also interested and just want to hear someone else's take, or for people who aren't interested and want to know, hey, what's up with that? What's up with feet?
Well, I know it's something we've talked about before, and talking about consent.
Yeah.
So I'm sure we'll talk about a lot of things today. Usually I ask what, like, X means to the person, so I guess what do feet mean to you, Vil? What do feet mean to you?
That sounds like, okay, it's not, but that sounds like such a deep existential question. It's like, what do feet mean to you?
Well, okay, because usually ask it's like, okay, what does being asexual mean to you, or what does being bisexual mean to you? But we're talking about feet today, so it's like, what do feet mean to you?
Man, that's such a wild question. I mean, for me, what they mean is, I don't know, if for me it's a source of, I guess, entertainment and comfort, It's something that I've personally enjoyed since apparently since I was a kid. I've always like had a fascination with them, and that's how a lot of this stuff starts.
You told me some of those stories.
Yeah.
It's cute though.
Oh, it's embarrassing, and maybe we could talk about that later, but yeah, I mean, but so ever since I was, and for those who don't know, kinks can start for any number of reasons. Obviously, you can just enjoy them later in life because you find out you like it, but a lot of the kinks that you have for most of your life, like they can develop like when you're younger, just as a like spark of interest, and then later as you grow up in adolescence, you realize, oh, I have a deeper appreciation for this, and feet was always just one of those things. Yeah, but when I was growing up, it was very much like a taboo thing that I kept kind of closeted and didn't really share with others. There was maybe one or two really close friends that I talked to about it, but in general, I really did hide it from almost everybody, because even some other close friends would joke about, like, ew, feet, they're so gross. I can't imagine any, like, something foot fetish related might come up on, like, in, like, a movie or a TV show, and always they were depicted as being, like, perverts or weirdos. Like, they're weird for liking feet and that kind of thing. And so, like, I literally had a friend on a, like, couch look at me and be like, oh yeah, ew, feet, gross. I can't believe anyone would ever be into that. And I just look at them going, haha, yeah, you're right, that is gross.
Oh no.
And it's because I you know what I mean? Like, I didn't want to out myself.
Rude.
Yeah, no, I know, but that's the thing, is like, when someone you care about is like, haha, yeah, that's disgusting, you're like, okay, that's cool, I guess.
Oh, I know what you mean, because, like, you know, being bi, sometimes it's like, yep, this is fine. Yep, them gays.
Oh God,
do you know what I
yeah.
mean? Like, you're
Yeah.
around people who are just being really, like, bigoted, and you're just like, I'm gonna keep my mouth shut now. I'm gonna go hide in the corner. I'm sorry you had to deal with things like that, too.
Mm-hmm. And Brish Chris has it completely right. It feels like institutional kink shaming, where like, yeah, because for some reason they like, it wasn't just one movie. There were like multiple movies I remember growing up where like there would be this weird character who liked feet, and they were always either like perverts or they were men in power who abused that power.
Oh, there is like a whole trope behind it. I guess I never really thought about it, but there is.
Yeah, there is. And so that obviously made me, that made me as someone who liked that go, oh, is it a bad thing? Because whenever they're depicted, they're bad people. So am I, like, do you know what I mean? Like, you internalize that.
I know what you
and
mean.
obviously I know I wasn't a bad person, but when these media are telling you that, you're like, okay, something's wrong. But then as I got older, you know, I obviously grew into myself and felt more confident, and the more I opened up to romantic partners about my interests, there has only been one person in my entire life that ever reacted negatively to it. Everyone else was either completely neutral and wanted to learn more, or was positive in it and was actually like, had known other people who were into it, or just found it like sexy themselves, you know?
Honestly, I feel like it'd be a good thing because, like, foot massages, hell yeah.
Not right? No,
you know
I know.
what I mean?
I always joke about that. I always joke about it. It's like, listen, like, have you ever seen those things? I actually did do it recently. Twitter posts where it's like, hey, 3 reasons to date me, or whatever. And
I know what
literally
you're talking about, yeah.
And one of mine, I put free foot massages, because I mean,
massages are great. Because, like,
what's not to enjoy?
everyone I've dated is like, I don't want to give massages. It's like, you hoe, it'd be so nice. Come on.
Hey, I'm good at giving massages.
Oh, really?
I am. Hey, listen, it's whenever you want.
You gonna clip me with your clippers, though? Oh my god. Actually, there's a question in chat that I'm curious about too. Have you ever heard of any healthy or good representations of feet fetishes on TV?
Oh my gosh.
Like in media?
Okay. Yeah, I'm trying to remember. I'm not gonna lie, there is, but it's very, very rare. And the fact that I can't even like pull it out, like, this is my interest, and I can't even pull like an immediate example for you. So that should tell you. But no, I mean, there definitely is, but I feel like most positive representation is either made by or for people who are already interested in those things, if that makes sense. Do you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, it makes sense.
But there's not a lot of like normal media out there that's like, yep, this character just happens to have a foot fetish. Like, the closest thing I can think of is that as I've gotten older, I've seen a couple more scenes in media where like a character will just be like giving their partner or whoever like a foot massage, and it's not treated as like a weird thing, you know?
Okay, so I think one of the sweetest things, like when a partner's giving a foot massage, like I've had it happen and I've like seen it in media too. Like, I know some people would say it's gross, but I think it's really sweet. Like kissing the foot. You know what I mean? It's just like one of those really sweet moments. It's like, aww.
No, I totally agree. I mean, like, I think in a way it can show like devotion to your partner, because you're like, you know, I care about you so much, like I'm giving attention and love to like every part of you, you know, head to toe. And yeah, I think it can definitely be like a very romantic thing. But you know, it's one of those things where you do have to kind of get past that stigma of, you know, it feels like there's, you know, basically the 3 types of people that I said, where it's like either you're all for it, you're neutral, and you're open to learning more, or those people who are just like, nope, it's gross and it's always gross, and I can't believe you would even think of, you know, like why you would even consider that. If
people go be like that. Glasses, thank you for gifting a subby. Thank you.
And honestly, for me, I don't mind if people don't like it. That's fine. I mean, obviously, everyone has their own
Yeah.
kinks and their own interests,
But
and
they
no
can
one's
be like respectful about it, you know?
exactly. Yeah, and as long as you're respectful about it, that's fine. But also, like, I'm never going to people have joked that I convert people to liking feet.
Well, Vil,
I
I mean, you're one of my closest friends, and look at the new model I have.
I know, right? Okay, to be fair, my favorite part is you just thought this was a cute pose, but
I
then later you
did!
realized you're like, oh, actually, I could see the other appeal for this too.
Well, because I was like, oh, this is such a cute pose. It's just very cute and cozy, you know? And I was like, oh, it's so unique too. And then I was like, wait a second. There's feet!
I want you to know that in, like, the foot kink community, this is called the pose.
Wait, it's called the pose? What do you mean?
Yeah, it's just called the pose because, like, this is a very common. I mean, there's a reason why someone made a model like this, right? Like, it's a very common pose where, like, someone's like laying down on their stomach and they're just like they have their feet up behind them, and yeah, I've just seen it called the pose because obviously, like, it's a relatively normal pose that no one's gonna question you on, but also there just happens to be feet in the background.
I mean, that makes sense. But to be fair, like, I literally will be in this pose just, like, reading a book or, like, scrolling on my phone. So...
Well, because also, like, yeah, and also, to be fair, it's what, Brish Chris said. There's also, like, obviously the booba to, like, appreciate. And then also your butt is in the air.
It's a little bit of everything.
It's like, you get a little of everything. But that's what I was going to say is, like, you can get this pose and, like, no one would question whether you, like, they're not gonna be like, oh, are you into feet? It's like, no, this is a very normal pose.
I've been complimented on my feet a lot in this pose. I will say that.
And I am not surprised. You are also definitely going to appeal to those people more.
Phoenix, thank you for gifting a subby to Foot Connoisseur. Very on brand.
Perfect person to gift the sub to.
Perfect. So is
yeah,
this your favorite pose then?
Oh, no. Nope. I mean,
No?
I like it, but no. I think you know what my favorite pose is, but
I feel
I'll
like
give you
I know.
a chance to guess. But...
I feel like I know. It's the view of the bottom of the foot as you're being stepped on. Yeah.
Perfect. A plus, A plus. You know me so well.
Man, we're such good friends. I know so much about you.
No, yeah, that's my personal favorite. But yeah, I mean, that's the fun thing too about that is that, like, there's a kind of countless number of poses or ways that you can appeal to it. Like, there's also just, like, imagine you're laying on your back and you have, like, your legs extended and, like, your legs crossed or something. You know, I mean, yeah, there's a lot of different ways that you can present them and people to enjoy them. Also, like, imagine you're sitting on your knees, like, kind of like your butt sitting down on your legs.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Your
on the
feet
sides.
right behind you. Yeah. Or on the sides, or, like, sitting, like, straight with your knees, like you're sitting on, like, the heels of your feet. Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
I know what you're talking about. I will say the feet to the side's a really good stretch. Glasses, thank you for gifting a subby to steppies on me.
Perfect.
I feel a theme today with the subbies.
Vil has good taste in multiple ways. Thank you, Danny. I appreciate it.
Hi, Samurai. We're having a good day. We're talking about feet today with Vil. Everyone be sure to give Vil lots of lava love. I'm pretty sure I tagged you in the title, so be sure to click on Vil's name so you can go give Vil lots of lava love on their streams too.
Yeah.
Wait, I don't think we introduced you, Vil. Like, you didn't get to introduce yourself. We just started talking. It's because I know you so well. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, that's okay. That's hilarious. Hi, everybody. I'm Vil, VTubers I love. I'm a VTuber clipper as well as a tiny crab that vibes in paradise with my best friend Liv. Today, we're not with Liv. It's just me and Ava. But I'm really glad that Ava wanted to invite me on and hang out and talk about this stuff.
Yeah, apparently I'm just so excited to talk about the feet that I forgot to let you introduce yourself.
No, that's okay. We got right into the topic, and I'm okay. I'm obviously okay with that.
This is one of your favorite topics. So, like, now you're much more open about it. What changed? Like, why now are you okay being more open about this than you were before?
So, I think this is the #1 reason, but obviously I'm very much myself here, but I'm also anonymous, right? Like, I'm playing a. I don't know. I don't want to.
I grabbed the wrong thing. Thank you for gifting us some defeat. I also grabbed the wrong thing. I was trying to grab the alert box so it wouldn't be over your face, and I grabbed myself.
Yeah, no worries.
Don't mind me. Okay, this is safe to grab. There we go. Don't mind me. Everything's fine. I got too excited.
It's all good. Yeah. Yeah, so obviously when we all set out to do content creation, we can kind of create ourselves however we want, present ourselves however we want, and also create whatever kind of community that we want. And so when I was thinking about what exactly I wanted to do, this actually started even when I was clipping, because when I was clipping, when I first really got into indie VTubers, I realized like half of the VTubers I watched at least had steppy redeems. And it wasn't even like because I was specifically following them. I was just checking out random VTubers, and a lot of them had steppy redeems. And so it kind of made me go like, huh, everyone's really cool with this. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
actually, that's a good point. I think it's just a part of the community. I'm not really sure why, but it is.
Yeah. And so at that point, I was like, okay, well, I like that it's definitely more accepted in the community, but like, obviously for most people, it's just kind of like a tee-hee ha-ha like joke, and that's fine, like that's still good. But I was like, you know, I decided that one, I wanted to clip those more like kink positive moments because I wanted to show that that is a like part of the community, right, and kind of promote that. But then also once I decided to start streaming, I was like, okay, well, like what is something that can set me aside from like all the other content creators, other than the fact that I'm a clipper? And I was like, well, I'll focus on being kink positive because that's what I care about. And it's actually not my first rodeo in like kink communities. Obviously, like I've been in kind of the two major ones, I guess, would be like the feet and also size difference. And so I was like, you know, I would really love to be able to make a community that's all about kink positivity and being accepting of those things and exploring those ideas. Also, glasses, fuck you for the lower hands, but also thank you for gifting a sub to Ava.
So here's the question. Someone has a username lower hands. What the fuck?
Yeah, I can't tell if someone would make that or if that actually exists.
Well, I mean, it's an account. Somebody had to make it.
Yeah, but also I don't put it past these jokers to make that account just to
since 2015.
Okay, well, never mind. Sorry, blows my conspiracy theory out of the water. Oh my
god, that's beautiful. It's hilarious.
That's so funny. Oh, Melty, good to see you. I'm glad you made it to the feet talk.
Here for the feet.
But yeah, no. So that is why I'm so open about it. Gin, also thank you for the
thank you for the 3 gifted subbies and for triggering a hype train. Welcome to the Gloopy Gang, Gloopy Gang. Today it's the Feety Gang, though. It's the Feety Gang.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Feety Gang, Feety Gang.
Like, so because I'd spent so much of my life being closeted about it or kind of ashamed or thinking it's taboo and stuff like that, I'm like, no, like I just want to. The most important thing to me is that if people see me hanging out with so many other VTubers and making so many friends and the community at large accepting me for who I am, then I want them to look at me and be like, well, if that guy can, you know, be accepted, then surely, you know, I can be accepted. And so, you know, that, yeah, a lot of people ask me, they're like, why are you so open about it? Like, and they don't mean it in a mean way, but they're just like, you're so brazen and you talk about it all the time. And I'm like, yeah, because if people, I mean, one, I enjoy it, obviously, but two, like, if people see me being open and other people good-naturedly joking with me and playing into it, then I'm sure that makes them feel more comfortable and be like, oh, so I can enjoy these things openly and I don't have to feel ashamed about it.
You can normalize it.
Exactly, normalize.
We've kind of talked about this before with like Vor and things like that, because it's like removing the stigma behind it.
Yep. And also, like, this is why I equally preach about like boundaries and respect and consent, because even though I'm saying, hey, you know, you can be open about it and talk about it and it's not something you should be ashamed about, I'm also not saying that you should shove it down people's throats and like make others uncomfortable.
Yeah, consent's important.
Exactly, consent, there's a time and place for everything, and also not everyone is comfortable with that, so you shouldn't always talk about that. I've literally had it where like if someone I know who I'm friends with or joked about this with in the past.
Thank you, Bannon, for gifting a subby to Feet Enthusiast.
Thank you. I'm loving all of these. These are hilarious.
They're beautiful.
Oh my gosh, Brish Chris, shut up. Shove it down people's throats. Listen.
I mean, some people are into that.
Some people are into that.
I'm not gonna yuck at anyone's yum.
Like, oh, so if it's someone I'm friends with or I've joked about it in the past, if they post like a feet picture or like pictures with like their socks, like just showing off cute socks, I'll go like awooga and all that stuff. Like, but if it's someone I don't know who posts that and like maybe I'm an acquaintance or like I don't know their comfort level, I'll still comment on it, but I'll just go like, hey, that's cute. And that's it. And then if they reply like they know who I am and they're like, oh, Vil, I know why you like it, and they play into it, then I know I can like go a little bit further. But like, I'm not gonna like go on someone's post who I don't know and like make awkward like remarks. Do you know what I mean? Like,
I know what you mean. Oh my God, guys. Thank you.
How are you finding these?
They're searching for them. I know Phoenix will search for them. Thank you for gifting us something to I Love Feet so much. And Anonymous, thank you for gifting one to Feet Make Me Squeak. These names are beautiful. That's all I gotta say.
This is hilarious. Also, there was one person who I felt really bad for. Okay, actually no, I saw it happen to 2 people recently. Okay, so I'm just gonna put out a really random PSA.
Feet uppercut.
Feet uppercut.
God, sorry. Keep going. I'm just dying from these. Thank you, Geen.
No one here needs this, but I'm just gonna put it out there just so that I feel better saying it. I apologize for any of the weird people in the community. Let the dogs out. Thank you, Glass.
I took a sip. I'm so glad I did not spit that out. Well, the dogs are out. Don't worry. Thank you, Glasses.
Every community has its weirdos, right?
I mean, yeah.
I mean, but I've seen twice in the past week or so someone in the VTuber community posting about getting a DM from someone that's like, hey, like, do you do like feet Skype calls or like,
wait, what?
Like feet pics or like whatever, like, you know what I mean, like stuff like that. Someone who, listen, if you're someone who does NSFW commissions already or like does other types of pics and you're just wondering if they do that, okay, I kind of get it. But if it's like a normal VTuber who does not do NSFW or doesn't like offer like commissions like that,
that's kind of out of the blue, yeah.
Don't ask about that.
Wait, why is there one that's my feet? What?
There's no
Sorry,
way.
I got distracted.
There's no way that's new.
Thank you, Geen, for feet, knees together. But why? Hold on, how old is this account? Ava's feet. How old is this? Hold on. How do I see how old the account is? I feel like
15. Oh my God.
How have people been liking my feet for that long?
Hey, listen, I don't blame them, you know?
Thank you for liking my feet.
Oh my God. But yeah, I don't know. It always bothers me whenever people like are weird in people's DMs, because I'm like, listen, if someone hasn't talked about doing that kind of content, probably don't want to just send them a random DM being like, hey, can I buy your pics? You know what I mean? Like,
oh my God, yeah. I mean, don't be weird in people's DMs. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, I mean, that goes for anyone, but, you know, it's just funny that in the past week I've seen 2 different people, yeah, and it might be from the same person, but get 2 different VTubers get DMs from someone being like, hey, like, you know, can you do a video where feet pics for me? And it's like, they haven't said they're offering that. Why are you asking that?
I mean, if they're offering it, it'd be fine, but not. It's like getting like a dick pic in your DMs. It's very rude. Oh, the card should be playing. I don't know why it wouldn't. It says they're on. I'll go ahead and do one for you because I'll be nice. Vil, are you ready for this?
Oh, I'm ready.
Oh, thank you for joining me.
Hey, you're welcome. Also, I like Phoenix's
free foot pics.
Yep.
I mean, just take a screenshot, it'll last longer. I mean,
hold on, I'm taking screenshots right now.
I got my tootsies right here. Their tootsies are out for you, chat. Actually, they're out for Vil, let's be honest.
Hey yo, I mean, to be fair, Ava did say that she was taking off her stockings just for me.
Yeah, because you would tear them otherwise. It'd be very rude, and those are expensive.
Yep. Zori touched on something interesting, because it's like, that's something I've talked about with boundaries and stuff like that, where it's like, it frustrates me that because people know I like feet, they think I like any and all feet. And so they'll either like send me pics or like be like, oh, I'll step on you, Vil, but like I don't know them or we haven't joked about that stuff in the past. And I'm like, hey, how about no?
Exactly. Thank you for gifting a subby to Stockings Hunter. Is that secretly you, Vil? Is it?
I'm embarrassed to admit it, but yes, absolutely.
Oh my god. But yes, consent's very important. Because like I've asked Vil before, I'm like, hey, you fine with me sending you these? And Vil's always like, please more.
Okay. You should know this by now, but you have blanket blanket consent to send me that stuff.
I know, but it's still important to ask every once in a while because consent can be revoked at any time. That
is true, and I do appreciate it. But I want you to make sure that you know that I am very comfortable with it, and I appreciate that you care about, you know, my consent, and that you even want to send me those pictures.
Well, sometimes it's just kind of like, you know what, I bet Vil would like this. Like when I was at the beach, I was like, hey, you know what? Let me be a bro.
and be a bro you were. Because Ava's mentioning it, I want everyone to know that Ava went to the beach recently, and I knew that because she had talked about it on Twitter, right? But then I just get a pic in my DM that's just Ava's feet in the sand, and I'm like, I
thought it was cute.
Hello, I'm like, hi, I can see you're having fun at the beach, Ava.
I was, and I thought about you, so I was like, Vil would like this.
And you were correct. I did see a question from Evan saying, can I ask if there's ever a non-creepy way to compliment a person's feet? I feel like it should be possible to do it respectfully, but the wording is difficult. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of the same thing as just complimenting any other part of another person.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I think the number one thing is Chronoclaw, thank you for the subscription.
Thank you for becoming part of the Gloopy Gang. Welcome to the Gloopy Gang.
Gloopy Gang.
I'd say not being creepy. It's like, I've gotten like weird compliments on like normal things, and it's just like, But then I've gotten like compliments, like people have complimented my model's feet here, and it's like, oh, thank you, you know? But it wasn't creepy.
Like, I would say also it depends on how you know this person. Like, obviously, if someone's a complete stranger and you're like, you know, I don't know, like, I think saying someone has cute feet is okay, but I think that could also come off a little weird just because that's an out there compliment for the most part. But here's an easy one. If someone has like nicely painted toenails, you could just be like, oh hey, I like the color of your nails. Like,
yeah,
and
that's acceptable.
That's a very normal, you know, thing to appreciate. Or if someone has maybe like an anklet or a toe ring or something like that, like an accessory,
always
you can point
toe
that
rings.
out. Yeah, you can point that out and be like, oh, I really like your ring, or, you know, whatever. Because also, obviously this is not this does not give like consent or anything like that, but I'm just saying that generally if someone has accessories for their feet, it generally means that they at least like having more attention drawn to them, so they might be more open to you complimenting them or making a comment about them. You know what I mean?
I agree.
And yeah, tattoos too. If someone has a tattoo on their foot, you can go, "Oh, I really like your tattoo." You know what I mean? But you know, I don't think you want to open up strong with like, "Oh, I like the shape of your foot," or like something out there like that. That's like a little more like.
I mean, unless you knew them.
Yeah, sorry, I'm talking about like this is an acquaintance. This is not like a close friend of yours. If it's a close friend of yours and they know you have an interest in this, I don't know. I mean, yeah, sure, as long as they're comfy with it. Like, I've complimented Ava's feet before, so I mean.
You have. I'm sorry, Vilda, I won't wear toe rings. I generally can't because most of them have like nickel in them.
Oh, that's okay. I don't. That's
no
not
toe
like
rings for Ava.
That's not like oh, toe rings make or break, you know. I just think they're pretty.
It's a little accessory, you know.
Well, and that's what I was gonna say is, listen, even if you can't wear toe rings, that doesn't rule out other kinds of accessories either.
True. I had these really nice sandals. I might actually still have them. They had all this like beadwork and stuff, so it like laid on the foot like in a really pretty way. It was very extra, but I loved them.
Oh, that sounds great. And yeah, I agree with Zori. Ankle stuff is nice. Oh my god, I can't believe that's an account. Toe rings rock.
Thank you, Geen. Thank you for finding that and for gifting it.
That's so funny.
It's beautiful is what it is.
Opinions on beauty marks on feet. Great. I like beauty marks in general, so to me it's no different if it was on their body or face or feet or whatever. But...
Toe ring sip too.
Oh my god.
These things are great.
Amazing. Thank you for the gift subs.
I think I have some freckles on my feet. I have freckles like everywhere, so it wouldn't surprise me.
Also, I like how Gian says Ava has tiny feet, but here's the funny thing: I wouldn't know that because I'm tiny. So that's the benefit of being tiny, is that everyone looks big to me.
Everyone's nice and big for you.
Also, let's be honest: it doesn't matter if someone has big or small feet. If they're standing over you and about to step on you, I mean, they all look pretty big at that position.
When you get a foot crab, thank you, Penix.
Oh my god, Penix.
So, I feel like I shouldn't be surprised by Twitch accounts, but I am, like, every time.
That's hilarious. Let's face it, any kind of jewelry can look great when it's made by... Oh yeah, absolutely. But I think that's the fun part about accessories, is that it kind of can show off a little bit more of your personality or draw more attention to certain parts of your body, whether it's like a bracelet or a necklace or an anklet or whatever, you know?
Or hide parts of your body, too.
Yep.
Like, I have one of my kneecaps tattooed, and I want the other one tattooed because I think kneecaps look weird.
Oh, that's funny. I didn't even realize that.
What, I thought kneecaps look weird?
Yeah.
They just look weird to me. I don't like the way kneecaps look.
I always look at incredibly random.
Well, I mean, like, we were talking about, like, using them to accentuate. You can also use them to hide things. So now, instead of having to look at my, like, kneecap, I don't know, like, it's just a weird body part.
I mean, I'm not disagreeing with you.
I'm weird, okay?
That's okay. And listen, I already knew that. And also, I'm weird, so we can just be weird
together. It evens out, yeah.
But yeah, no, like, I remember, I really appreciated that in the post that when you were promoting this stream, it was really nice. I remember someone, and I don't know if they're here, if they are, great, but someone was like, oh, like, I'm interested to hear, like, your take on this, you know? And I appreciate that even people who aren't potentially into this are still interested in, like, learning. And that's one of my favorite things. I mentioned it earlier where, you know, people say I convert others into liking feet. And that's the thing, is that I don't actively convert people, because that's one of my things, is that, remember how I said, like, don't shove it down other people's throat, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
I'm not like, do I want other people to appreciate it? Yes, but I want it to be of their own volition, and so all I do is I share my own like art and interest in it, and if people by osmosis, by seeing my appreciation for it, start to see it differently and realize,
well,
like,
you're also painting it in a positive light rather than be like, ooh, it's creepy. You're like, no, it's wonderful,
Yeah, exactly, and I think that helps people, because like I said, so much media in the past has painted it in a negative light, that now that they're being exposed to the first time, for possibly the first time, in a very positive fashion, they're like, oh, yeah, okay, I can see why you think that, and so I love that I've had people go from either like not interested at all, or just neutral, to being like, okay, yep, now I am actively, like, this is on my kink list.
I mean, I've literally told you that I don't think I've sent like foot pictures to anyone else, and now like I've sent the most foot pictures I ever have to Vil. I've lost count how many pictures I've sent you, Vil.
I appreciate it so much. I mean, obviously, I thank you every time you send me one.
You do. And every time you're surprised, you're like, Ava, you sent me one. Oh my god. It's really adorable.
It makes me happy. It's a happy surprise.
Aww.
Because I'm not gonna like expect it, obviously.
True.
So it's
still
just
a
whenever
cute reaction.
Thank you. And I don't know, like it. So for me, if people are neutral to my kinks, and just accepting of it in general, that is all I want. That makes me very happy. Like, great. I'm content. But if I have friends who not only accept me for it, but also like embrace me or like tease me and indulge me about it, that sends me like over the moon happy. Like, I'm, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it means a lot that they care about me to, like, I don't know, I guess go the extra mile, and they enjoy teasing me and seeing my reactions, and like I said, all I need is bare bones acceptance. But hey, if people also want to tease me about it, then great, like, even better.
But tease in a positive way.
Yes, that's what when I say tease, I mean like playfully, like good-naturedly, tease and stuff like that. I've thankfully never had anyone, no one in the community has ever like made fun of me for it, and nor do I expect that to happen, but I'm just saying, like, I've never had a negative experience. Like, everyone has either, how about this, if they think like my exuberant showing of love for this kink is gross, or they don't personally like it, then they've never shown their distaste for it publicly. And anyone who's either neutral or appreciative of it, obviously, they've followed me, and I've said this many times. I don't blame anyone who either doesn't follow me on Twitter or unfollows me, because I decided that when I made my account that I would be just very like unapologetically myself,
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna stop posting about these different kinks and my interests and stuff, because that's just me and my community. And if you like that and you like me for it, then great, follow me. And if you don't, then that's fine. You also don't have to follow me. But it makes me happy that even though I do have that stance, I haven't noticed people like unfollow or like be negative towards it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's a good thing. You're surrounding yourself by people who like you for you.
Exactly, and that's what I want. And so it makes me even more appreciative for the people who follow me, because I know that by following me, you increase your likelihood of seeing feet on your timeline by like 100%.
I wonder why. Is it because you're out there simping for all the people who post things? It's every time I see that little like, it's like you're like looking up and pleading face. So I'm pretty sure Siege draws everything. But you know what I mean? Like, you're looking up and you're like pleading face, like, please, and you look like you're about to be stomped on. Like,
So
see that, and I'm like, Vil.
So the funny thing is, there's 2 of them that I post a lot that actually weren't drawn by Siege.
Really?
Well, yeah, one of them is drawn. I would have to get their full username, but they're someone who's in my community. They drew the one where I look like I'm like peepo shy, looking up with puppy dog eyes, you know. And then the other one where I'm looking up with like hearts in my eyes, and there's like a foot shadow over me.
I'm thinking of the one with the hearts in the eyes.
Yes, that one is by Miss Peachy.
Oh, Peachy drew that? It's adorable.
Yeah, Peachy drew that.
That's super cute.
Yeah, it's really cute. And no, the funny thing is, I want you to know the original of that. There's 2 versions of that.
Oh.
The heart eyes with the foot shadow over me that you know, and the other one is the original one where it's just me looking up with sparkles in my eyes. There's no heart and there's no foot shadow. So originally it's just me looking up with sparkles in my eyes. Someone mentioned that Vil should have a foot shadow over him, and then Miss Peachy like 10 minutes later made that alternate version.
Beautiful. I love it when people come together for shit like that.
Yep. And because I see Gin asking, my good friend Tweest, who I know IRL and also, you know, is frequently in my chat community, drew the Wheeze emote. No, sorry, it was not the other way around. The original one was the sparkly eyes, and then the heart eyes with the foot shadow was second.
It's funny.
Yeah, that was very funny. So, and the funny thing too is, I was really surprised. Do you know Bo Sheep?
I know Bo, yeah.
Yeah, so Bo recently followed me on Twitter.
Nice.
And I was like, oh, that's a happy surprise. Like, I like Bo, but like we've only interacted just a couple times on Twitter, so I wasn't expecting anything. But she followed me, and then today she replied on one of my posts where late last night I posted something about how you know, the community knows me as this kinky little crab, because the post was like, how does your community know you, you know? And I'm like, yep, I'm just a kinky little guy. And Bo replied to that saying something like, now I'm just imagining all the crabs at the beach are like, run away, the humans might step on us. And then there's one brave crab who's just rushing towards them with heart in his eyes, like,
oh my god, that's hilarious. I'd love to see that though, because I mean, honestly, that's you.
Oh, you're right. No, it's absolutely me. And if you haven't yet, all of you need to go on Twitter to see the promo post that Ava put up for the stream.
Oh, Siege did it.
Siege did art just for this stream, because I was talking with Siege before the stream, and we were joking about how, you know, it's called a sex ed stream, and instead we're not talking about sex, we're talking about feet. And so it's like me piloting this like human mech, and there's Ava watching, and it's like a billboard that has sex ed crossed off, and it has "Why I Love Feet" a thread.
I mean, to be fair, that is what this is.
Oh, that's exactly what this is.
Thank you for gifting a subby to just a little guy.
That's me.
It is like you.
Thank you for the gift sub.
Okay,
yeah,
so
that
that brings up a good question. Because you are asexual, do you view feet differently from someone who has a foot fetish who is not asexual?
So, in most cases, I want to say no. It should be generally the same, because like, and this is different for all aces, right? Some aces don't have like sexual attraction at all. I do. I just don't get any pleasure from sex. So I am not repulsed by sex. I'm just not personally super interested in it.
Yeah.
The weird thing is that I actually am repulsed by it in art. I think that's just because I'm just like not. That's just not my thing. So I just kind of like I'm like, oh, okay, no thanks. But like if my partner wanted to have it, obviously I am happy to do things that make them happy.
Yeah.
But for being an asexual who's into feet, I think that kind of plays into the whole, like, I've had people ask me like, well, you're asexual and you're kinky, like how does that work? Like you can't be both. And what a lot of people don't. Oh yeah, no, absolutely, I know that, but a lot of people say that to me, like they don't understand the concept of being both kinky and asexual. And a lot of kinks have absolutely nothing to do with having sex. So it's definitely possible to be both. And
actually, you're right, I never thought about that. You can incorporate sex into them, but a lot of them like are kind of their own thing, huh?
Yeah, I mean, you can even talk about like BDSM. BDSM isn't like, it can lead into sex, but the act of BDSM itself is
because I've been to like BDSM parties and there was like no sex that happened, but there was like a lot of other things that happened. I guess I just never really thought about it, Vil. You taught me something today.
I'm so glad. I didn't realize you didn't know. Yeah,
well,
I'm glad.
I never really thought about it that way. Do you know what I mean? Because I kind of just was just like, oh, they go like hand in hand, but I mean, they go together, but they're not like.
You don't have to have.
Yeah, you don't have to have it.
Yep, and also, I mean, Allie brought up a great one as well. I mean, for those who know me and my community, you'll immediately know that vor is like my second favorite kink, and that's a great one too, where that has absolutely nothing to do with sex. And so yeah, I think that's one of the fun things about kinks, and for kink, like, because I've heard multiple people say that some of the kinkiest people they know are asexuals, and I think part of that is because these kinks allow us to explore and enjoy ourselves in ways that don't involve sex.
Makes sense.
Yep, some just find their enjoyment through other means. Yeah, exactly.
That's, I mean, as long as it makes you happy,
Yeah, no, I mean, that's exactly what I believe. And also for people who are into feet, I mean, you can be into it in a lot of different ways. Like for me, like my favorite part about it is the submissive part of like, this is the reason why I like steppies so much, is like I like the idea of being stepped on and like that perspective of seeing someone step on you and that kind of thing. But there are other people who can like feet but are not into that aspect. They're not, they might not even be into femdom like stuff at all. They might just simply like the shape and the feel of a foot, and they might incorporate that into their sex life in some way. But there's you can enjoy that kink in a multitude of different ways. Yeah, like any fetish, there's a spectrum to it. Exactly.
I mean, and everyone's gonna have things that they like and dislike, because like you said, like there's a specific part of the foot that you like the best over other parts.
Yep. Yep, like Ava knows because we've talked about this. Like the bottoms, especially like the toes and the ball of the foot kind of section is like my personal favorite. But there's other people who might like just the entirety of the sole or the heel or the top of the foot, like,
or the tootsies.
The tootsies, yeah, exactly. Like anything really. And some people might be into worship. Some people might be into like the foot massages, being stepped on. I mean, we joked about it before, but like, remember, what was it? I think someone pointed out the whole like shoving it down your throat or whatever.
Yeah.
Some people can be into that. You know what I mean? Like, there's a whole bunch of different things that you can do, and it can range from just being like entirely wholesome, like a simple foot massage, or like much more intimate things.
So I have a question. If someone is like curious about like feet, how should they go about like exploring that? I guess. I'm trying to word that because I was like, what happens if someone's curious but they don't know like where to start? I'd be like, how do I know? You know?
Yeah, that's interesting. I mean, really, that's just up to you to kind of broach it. So, if you have a partner, obviously that's up to you to broach it with your partner.
Yeah.
Talk about exploring these things. But also, if you're just wanting to explore it like on your own, I mean, consider looking up some either videos or images and like see what kind of content maybe interests you. Obviously, Google exists and other spicy websites where you can look up different things. But I know that like for me personally, Zori kind of hit on it a little bit. Zori said, I've seen people in the size scene, so the size kink community, who are only into feet if there's size involved, while normally they're not into it if it's same size. For me, I like both. But what actually got me to realize this was a kink that I was interested in was I saw images of
tiptoe around it.
Like I hate that, Captain. Why? Sorry.
Wow. That's funny though. No, that's good.
Oh my god, I'm sorry. I wasn't prepared for that.
No need to apologize. Thank you for the bits. That's hilarious. But it was on Google Images. It was just images of different women stepping toward the viewer as if like they're giant and they're gonna step on you. And that just clicked two things for me where I'm like, suddenly I was like awoken like both feet and size difference like in the same moment, you know.
I mean, kinks kind of tie into one another, right? So I mean, it's not that weird to see one thing and be like, oh, wait a second.
Yeah, exactly. And it's funny. See, I didn't even realize how. I mean, I knew this was a thing, but I didn't realize how common it was. Even Dinmaker just said feet only interest me if there's giants involved. So see, some people, you know, they like the size difference aspect of someone being giant and stomping around, you know. And yeah, I can see that appeal. And yep, the submission part is my favorite. I love all these other feet enjoyers coming out of the woodwork being like, this is what I like about it. And I'm like, good for you.
I'd say tickling can be included, Yugi, but I would say, isn't tickling technically like a separate kink? I mean, like I just said, kinks can tie into one another, though.
I was gonna say, it's tickling is a different kink, because obviously you can tickle anywhere on someone's body. But it is definitely one that tends to go hand in hand. Not saying if you're into tickling, you automatically are into feet, but because feet are
very ticklish.
It's definitely a common one.
That would be hand and foot. You are correct.
Oh, hand and foot. Oh my god, you're right. Jesus. Actually, that reminded me of a past partner who I remember was very nervous about me appreciating their feet because they thought it would be too ticklish. And then once I did it the first time, right after, they were like, okay, I'm into this.
Well, you can be okay, like tickling and like touching feet are two different things. I will say that because like I'm hella ticklish, but like there's a difference.
It just made me really happy that they were someone who was very apprehensive about it, and then after I was done, they were like, well, I like this now. Good job. Like, and I'm like, yes, let's go.
It's so adorable that they're like willing to try it. They're like, hey, I actually like this.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. Touching feet like touching tips. Listen, I don't know, but I mean,
no weapons if we touched feet.
I blush. That's what happened.
Oh, that's adorable though.
I also like Dinmaker said, I think the total pressure from a giant and giantess could put on someone gently or otherwise is a big part for me. Yeah, I mean, there's a whole bunch of different aspects for it. Like, I know that, like I said, for people who like being stepped on, especially if it's like by someone bigger than you, it's like, you know, the idea of being completely you know, submissive or at their mercy and that kind of thing. That's a
Yeah.
for me, it's a huge thing of loss of control. I love the idea of like, because I have anxiety and I stress about stuff so much, the idea of having it be like, hey, you're my pet, you belong at my feet, you're gonna like tend to my feet and appreciate them, and that's your one and only job. And I'm like, yes please, thank you. You know, like,
Damn, Vil.
that is a very comforting thing for me, because it means a total loss of control and just like, okay, cool, I only have one thing to worry about now. And you know,
Would that be falling into pet play at that point?
oh absolutely, yes.
Nice.
Yep.
Again, things tie into one another.
Yep. There's so many different kinks that can all, you know, play into it. And that's another. I know we joked about it before, but it's like, for those who didn't see either on Twitter or haven't heard Ava and I joke about this before, Ava posted, her shoe, like, having it popped off, and then joking about like, because I was looking for, you know, a new shell, aka a shoe, to call my home or whatever, and it was like, oh well, Vil, here's your home, and she literally had a PNG of me being put in the shoe, and I was like, well, this awesome, great, like this is where I live, and that kind of plays into that too, where it's like, hey, if that's my home and that's where I live and that's what I do, great, awesome. I'm happy to have that be my home.
And thank Phoenix for that. He did the edit for me.
Thank you, Phoenix. I appreciate it.
I literally just sent him a picture like, hey, could you put Vil in my shoe, please?
That's such a wild request for your mod, but that's hilarious.
No question about it. She's like, sure, I got you.
I mean, I know Phoenix knows me, so it's not weird. But
no
it's
problem, lol.
But I just can't imagine, like, for most streamers, I can't imagine them DMing their mods being like, hey, can you put my friend in my shoe? Thanks. Like, that's...
Phoenix likes doing little edits for me. Like, sometimes he'll do them on his own, and sometimes like, hey, can you do this for me real quick? Because Phoenix is really good with edits.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, can you do this dumb thing for me?
Also, Warlock, that's really cute. I saw you said, like, for example, when a woman puts her feet in my lap, especially when it's sexy, I blush hard.
Aww.
Yeah, listen, hey, you know? So, I'll tell a very, funny story. So in college, I was, dating someone, and I was over at their family's place for the holidays. And so obviously my partner knew what I was interested in, and she was wholly accepting of it. And so we were... Has anyone ever been in a kitchen, or even at a bar, that has it where, like, there's a counter, and you sit on, like, a tall chair, you know, so you're above the counter.
Yeah.
A stool, thank you. And you can't see what's happening, like, below the waist.
Yeah.
Right? So her parents are in the kitchen while we're sitting on the other side of this counter.
Vil.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah,
okay.
you can already tell.
Okay.
I'm not this isn't going anywhere super bad. But she's you know, family on the other side of the counter, and she's just rubbing her foot along my foot. And it's just, and she knew it made me embarrassed, so immediately, like, her family's trying to talk to me, and I'm like blubbering, like trying to act normal, but like I'm clearly like uncomfortable or embarrassed about something, and they didn't like push me on it, but like I was like not in a right state to like have a normal conversation with someone's parents, right?
Is it bad? I think that's adorable, though.
No, it is kind of cute. You're right.
It is really cute. Like, I'm just imagining your face.
Oh yeah, no, I was literally like, hold on, I'll put it in chat. That was my face. Also, I totally get why you were nervous for a moment, because I know that sounded bad, but that's why I was like,
it
trust
sounded
me,
really bad. I was like, Vil, were you doing something under the table?
No, I was like, trust me, this is not as bad as you think.
That's more wholesome and adorable, I'm not gonna lie.
Which I would like to point out, that's another thing I actually really like about the foot fetish in general, is that a lot of things that other people would view as like totally normal or like not sexual at all can be very, very appealing to people with those kinks. And so a lot of our like kink, or what you like quote unquote NSFW art, actually ends up not being like an NSFW like really at all. Do you know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
Like literally you could just have someone who's like laying down with their bare feet up, and like that's not like lewd or anything, but like feet people are gonna be like, hello, like
just peeking in like, hello eyes.
Yeah, exactly.
I actually have a question that talking about it has reminded me of. There was an ex I was with. I mean, obviously they're an ex now, but there was a person I was with, and he really enjoyed when I stepped on his back. Like, is that a thing that a lot of people like, or was that just like?
Okay, if you don't mind,
if
you don't mind expanding just a touch, when you say he liked it, do you mean like he? I don't think he got like a normal amount.
I don't think he got like turned on by it, but
okay, that's what I'm wondering.
He would regularly ask me to. The first time I did it, I was horrified that I was gonna like squish him, you know, because
let's go.
He was like laying on the ground, and he literally was just like, yes, walk on my back, please. I'm like, what?
Ava, I volunteer.
I guess I was small enough that it didn't like hurt him, but I mean, it was still like horrifying because I'm like, what if I hurt you? But like, I don't know if I was cracking his back or what, but like he'd ask me to do it occasionally and I would, but I never really got it. I was just like, okay, I don't mind, because I mean, it wasn't like hard. I was literally just walking. Sure. It wasn't hard.
Did you walk barefoot on like,
yes.
And on his bare back?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So I wouldn't slide, to be honest.
So the two things I'm thinking are, one, obviously that's actually a very normal like type of massage.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. I mean, massage places like I've never gotten it myself, but from what I've seen, I know that's a type of massage you can get. And also, I imagine just getting the like barefoot on the bare back actually could be just a very nice feeling as well. So I'm sure on the one hand it was maybe just a nice like texture feeling, you know, on the back, and then the other hand it's also just an actually good way to massage and crack your back.
Huh, that's good. I didn't know. It was just kind of like, could you do this for me? Sure, why not?
Yep.
I'm pretty chill about things, if you've noticed, but I guess just talking about this made me wonder. I was like, huh, was that a foot thing, or is it just a thing? Like, nothing wrong with if it was, but I was just curious.
Hey, Ava. Will you walk on my back?
I mean, I'll be singing you off. Kai, do you want me to?
Let's go! Listen, I already know we talked about steppies.
You did ask for steppies. You're not the only person who's asked for steppies.
Oh, I know. Well, I don't know if Fluffy's here or not, but I'm pretty sure Fluffy is
I think Fluffy's at a concert yesterday and today.
Yeah, but I know Fluffy talked about getting steppies from
Fluffy
VTubers as well.
Fluffy has asked me, and I said yes.
Listen, hey, if I can, as long as people aren't weird about it, and they, you know, do it, they deal with it very respectfully, and they, you know, respect people's boundaries.
Yeah.
If by osmosis of me being in the community, more people get steppies or ask for steppies, I'm cool with this.
I mean, I'd say it's not the weirdest thing I've been asked, considering I used to do a lot of cosplay. So, it's just kind of like, that's fine.
People ask you weirder things for cosplay?
Yes.
Oh no, I'm sorry.
I'd have a lot of people. I mean, hugs aren't like that weird, but I mean, hugging strangers is kind of weird. Not gonna lie.
Yes.
I'd have that asked a lot, and I even had some people ask me to kiss them, and I was like, no, thank you.
Oh my gosh.
No, thank you. You know.
Yeah.
So it's like, that's not the weirdest thing I've been asked.
Okay, understandable. Yeah, that's really strange. The hug thing, I get a little bit more if it's someone who like you admire, not just a random cosplayer.
I was for sure a random cosplayer.
Yeah, which is that's.
It's not
weird.
like I was like, a big name cosplayer or anything. I didn't have like any of that shit. I didn't even have like an Instagram or anything. So yeah, I was just random cosplayer number 2.
Yeah, no, I don't like that. And Warlock, yeah, obviously anyone is welcome to ask any questions, and I'm happy to answer. I saw Brish Chris ask, are there any specific kinds of shoes you like more than others? I know this question is for me, for obvious reasons. I'll ask it to Ava as well. I'm curious to hear what kind of shoes you like. But for me, as an appreciator of that stuff, I would say, so Gladiator sandals are huge. It's one of the reasons why Liv has Gladiator sandals. I just find them really appealing. I like the style. I like flats. I like Converse shoes. Any shoes that give off the like skater vibe are really, really awesome. I like tennis shoes, mainly because I play tennis and I enjoy tennis. So I just kind of, let me think. Big boots, like big chonky boots, are awesome. Let me think if there's anything. I mean, sandals I know I specify Gladiator sandals, but sandals in general are awesome. Yeah, I think. Also slippers. Slippers are very nice. I always think slippers are cute, like house slippers.
They are.
But yeah, the most surprising one that I'm sure, like, the one I think people would be surprised to hear that I don't like. I'm not a fan of heels.
That is surprising.
And I know that, I think in the foot fetish community, that's actually like a big, like a lot of people like heels. But for me personally, I'm not a huge fan of heels. I don't really care for like the stiletto part. And also a lot of them tend to have like high, obviously like platforms and stuff like that. So yeah, that's my opinion.
How can one people
What are some shoes that you enjoy just wearing that you like?
Okay, so I don't like wearing socks, so I actually prefer wearing like flip-flops and sandals, but it's not always the most smart thing to wear. Like at Disney, I have to wear tennis shoes because otherwise my ankles will get eaten by moms with strollers. They're vicious. But like I actually prefer sandals because I don't like wearing socks because I don't like the feeling of like my feet being confined. I don't know. I'm weird.
Ava?
What?
This is all just good news. That's all I'm saying.
I'm being honest. Like, I can't stand toe socks because, like, I hate the way my toesies feel constricted, which I thought I would love toe socks because they're so cute, but I hate the feeling of them.
That's valid. I think they look weird. I don't like them.
I think they're cute, but, like, I can't stand wearing them. I don't like the feeling of them. I really like knee-high lace-up boots that, like, hug your calves. Those are really hot. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yep.
Like those are really hot. I do not wear heels at all. I am very clumsy, and I'm just gonna stay short. It's fine. I don't need heels.
So what I'm hearing is that my taste in shoes aligns with the kind of stuff you wear.
I actually have Gladiator sandals in my closet right now.
Let's go.
So yeah, I like sandals. I mean, I'd to be honest, if I didn't have to wear shoes, I probably wouldn't. But I know I need to wear shoes because I don't like my foot to get cut or burned or anything.
Yeah. Oh, that's hilarious. I like that Warlock was like, hey, can I ask you a question? And the question ended up being, what's your favorite shoes on a pair of feet? Mine are strappy sandals and high heel. Hey, all valid. Yeah, I'm glad I answered your question. And I appreciate that Zori said a lot of the things Vil likes is what I like as well. Hey, you have good taste.
Oh, my back is still healing, Gian. It's gonna take a while. I got pretty burned when I went to the beach. It was very unfortunate.
I'm sorry.
Just on my back because my friend Medi did my sunblock and failed.
Oh no.
The rest of me was fine, just not my back. Ripperoni.
I'm so sorry.
It's fine.
See, I was about to make a joke saying you should have had your crab friend there to, like, you know, help you out, but then you already had someone there who was helping you, and it's still they failed.
They did. To be fair, I used like a stick of sunblock rather than a liquid, so it's a little bit different than they were used to.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I'm used to it because it's what I use, but it is what it is.
Also, I saw Yugi Nami asked about advice on like clipping and VTubers. You can ask that on another stream of mine, because we're not talking about clips and VTubers. We're talking about feet today.
We are talking feet. Actually, clipping. Do you like toenails? Like,
Oh,
like that's part of the foot. Because like I like having my toenails pretty. I like having them painted. But like, is that a part of it?
yes, I would say so. Yugi Nami, it's okay. I was just letting you know. I was joking. You know, obviously, I'm happy to talk about clipping and VTubers whenever, but just not on this stream. For yeah, like toenails and stuff. I would say so. There's some people who like you know, people with longer toenails. For me, I don't. I actually prefer them to be like you know, shorter.
Yeah.
But I can really go like either way. I like painted toenails, and I also like natural nails. I think natural nails can be very pretty sometimes. But I also think that certain colors on nails look really, really great. Like, I think
Did you like
blue...
the color I sent last time?
Yes, I did. I did.
They were super sparkly.
Yeah, they were pink, right?
It's like a pinkish tone. It is so much sparkles. I love sparkles, so.
Yeah. And I saw Excalibur literally asked particular color nails do I prefer. I would say those colors would be like a dark blue, pink, black.
Don't mind me writing these down.
Yeah, let's go. Oh, purple.
Ooh, good choices.
And I think those are my top ones. I think
Solid
you
or
can never...
sparkly though?
So I think for me, solid usually preferably. However, like for example, the one that you sent, that was a great like. I think that came out great. But I think
Man, I could even go into more detail. It's like, do you like regular or gel? Do you Do you like glossy or matte? Do you like glitter?
No, it's
decorated.
Funny. I would barely be able to give you that opinion, only because I don't paint my own nails, so like I don't know all the differences between that stuff. Although I think I really like, you said matted.
Yeah, like matte. It's not shiny.
Yeah, I think I like that.
Sorry, I do my nails a lot, so I'm just like, oh, I know all the
cute.
terms and everything.
Yeah, no, I'm glad you think so. I saw someone said a sexy red can be good. Yeah, no, and that I think I said that before, I can't remember, but yeah, red is always good. Like, red isn't on my personal favorite list, but also if you wear red, you just can't go wrong.
I was gonna say it would match you though.
You know what? I like it even more now. I like that Zori and I just really vibe on the same interests. Dark blue can look really nice along with purple. Good taste. Here's a question that'll be fun to answer that I've heard asked before. How do you feel about socks? I'm not gonna... Oh, wait, actually...
I was gonna say stockings. Wouldn't that kind of answer it?
I have multiple feelings on this.
Oh?
Because, yeah. So, socks are basically the same as stockings in that way. Of like, I would rather them not be there at all. However,
but thigh highs.
Yeah, thigh highs are good.
Thigh highs are hot.
Because I'm always going to be someone who prefers bare feet. That's just the nature of it. But
Bill doesn't like these.
There are certain socks that I like, certain things that I do enjoy about socks. Like for example, because for me an aspect of feet that I enjoy are like the natural, I guess, like the natural texture and scent of them, of like someone having just like been walking around all day, like they, you know, had work or something, they come back home, they take off their shoes and socks, and I think that's really nice because I like things. There are some people who really like smell when it comes to feet. Like you could even say like quote
the
unquote
musk.
like the musk, yeah. And you could say like some people even like it like really quote unquote smelly. I personally don't. However, I like the naturalness of it. Like if it's like a natural musk of like just like yep, I've been on my feet all day. That is something that appeals to me. So like if someone were to like have socks on while like, you know, walking around all day or whatever, I think that's like an appealing part.
Oh, you mean like how I specified that I took my shoe off after being at Disney all day for that picture? You're like, oh, my home.
Yes, Ava, that's exactly what I'm talking about.
I need to
Exactly like
clarify.
Okay, wait, I would like to point out, I did not specify to Ava that this is something that interests me. I didn't. Ava, of her own volition, was like, I want you to know that I was walking around Disney all day, and right when I was done, I sat down and I took my shoe off, and that's when I took that picture. And I'm like,
I felt
Ava,
like it was important for you to know.
Very specific information. I didn't tell you I would enjoy that information, but I do enjoy it, so thank you for that.
Maybe I knew without knowing.
Maybe. And listen, hey, Thoro, I'm a weird foot person. I prefer socks or stockings to bare feet. There is nothing wrong with that. There's plenty of people who enjoy that. Listen, I think I'm the weirdo for not liking stockings.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with having preferences.
Yeah, exactly.
They also asked about stirrup socks. I've also seen stirrup stockings.
Oh, stirrups are super, super great. And I say that because you get the enjoyment of the stockings, of like the like aesthetic, but you get the toes out, and that's what matters.
I will say wearing them sucks though.
And you know what? I wouldn't be surprised.
It feels weird. You can feel just that little strip and you're like, huh.
Oh my god, that's so funny. I actually do kind of understand what Yugi Nami said. Socks to me are like gift wrapping. Prefer to remove them to see my present.
Oh my god. That's exactly you in that picture.
Yeah, and so I was gonna point out like that can also be playing into my size kink. An appealing idea is like being inside of a sock when someone wears it. You know,
like at the same time?
Yeah, at the same time, because that forces you against like their foot. You know what I mean?
I see, yeah.
Yeah. So that's definitely like, so as in combining those two kinks, that's definitely like an appealing part of it as well. But someone also, I think, yeah, Zori mentioned scent play. So like, yeah, for a lot of people, when you're into this stuff, you know, it's the feeling, and it's also the scent. And so, yeah, I know that like there are countless people who literally will sell their socks because people are interested in used socks, and it's because people like that scent.
I knew people sold underwear. I didn't realize people sold socks. I guess I shouldn't be surprised.
I kid you not, whenever I see people selling that stuff, those are the top two that I always see. It's always underwear and socks together. Not being sold together, but you know what I mean. Like those are the two that get sold.
Yeah, which I guess makes sense.
Mm-hmm. And also, this is a very interesting thing that maybe not everybody knows. One reason why a lot of us like there's an appeal of like someone being like sweaty or like having like worked hard all day, and like some people like that smell, that musk smell, right? So I believe that it's our armpits that like produce those pheromones from the sweat, and your feet produce the same pheromones.
They do?
Yeah. Yep.
I'm sitting here thinking about it because I never really thought about it.
Yeah, so that's another reason why someone might, you know, be attracted or interested in that.
so it's kinks tying into other kinks again.
Exactly. So I think that's another reason why like scent plays a lot of a big part of it as well.
Does taste then too?
Yeah, I would say so. Because obviously, you know, there's like worship and licking and stuff like that. So that's definitely another aspect. Not saying everyone who's into feet kink are, you know, interested in that, but a lot of people are.
I feel like I've learned a lot today, Vil.
Hey, I mean, I get that's why you do these, right?
Yeah. I mean, I can't obviously know about like every single kink out there, especially ones that I'm not like a part of.
Yep.
So it's good to bring people on who know things, and then they can teach me things, and they can talk to Chad about those things and help normalize them.
Yeah. I see. I'm also not the only one who appreciates that. Warlock said taste is one of my favorite parts. Hey,
there's nothing
good
wrong
for you.
with that.
And yeah, it also makes me happy that when other VTubers, like, I've told Ava this, the easiest way to get me automatically more interested in a VTuber, at least design-wise, is if their character is barefoot.
Oh my god, yeah.
Yeah. And listen, that's not going to make me stay. Obviously, their personality is what matters most. But if you want me to get eyes on your character more easily, that's a good way to do it. And it is funny that Ava, you know, has always been barefoot.
I find it funny because like whenever I show like my original model with like the full mod, everyone's like, "Oh, your feet are out." I'm like, "Yeah, why wouldn't they be out?"
I'm like, eyes emoji, awooga.
It's me accidentally playing into things, just being me.
Yeah.
It's like, I wasn't trying to be like this, is just how I am. I swear, I'm just a hippie at heart.
And I love that. Or when VTubers have shoes, but then they have a toggle to take them off. And I'm like, yes, let's go! Because it means they thought about it, you know?
Well, I make sure, like, with all my other outfits, I can take off the shoesies, too. It's very important for me.
Because a lot of VTubers just have shoes and they can never come off. And that's fine, obviously. But when they can come off, I'm like, hello?
I don't always want to be wearing shoes. I don't like wearing shoes IRL. Why would I want to wear shoes for my model, you know?
Yeah.
You're lucky you never have to wear shoes.
I am lucky, you're right. There's no clothes for crabs, so I'm always just kind of...
I've seen little hats.
Yeah, but that barely counts. Actually, I remember one of my friends in DMs sent me a picture of a crab with a sweater, and it looked extremely cursed, and I hated it.
I'm imagining it. It's really funny in my head.
I'll send it to you later. It's funny, but I'm like, no, I don't want to. No clothes for me. I'm just a little crab.
I don't even know what that means, Warlock. Maybe Vil does.
I do, actually, and I can tell you in just a moment.
Can you please enlighten me?
Yep, but I did see a question earlier. Excalibur asked, I'm curious, is it just humanish feet, or is there other monster girl feet that you admire, like hooves or claws? So personally, I don't tend to like the super animalistic ones, like hooves or claws, just because obviously, like, if it's basically just like an animal paw and that's it, then like that kind of takes away. The toe beans are cute. They're cute, you know. But yeah, I don't have a lot of interest in that. However, furry artists are really good at combining like humanish type feet with like paws or claw type feet, and those kind of art and combinations can be really nice. But yeah, there's also plenty of other monster girl feet though that I admire. I've actually have art of friends who have done themselves stepping on me, like I have a kaiju friend who stepped on me who has like imagine like Godzilla lizard type stompers.
Oh, that's Paige, isn't it?
That is Paige. Yep. I like how you knew.
I was sitting here, I was like, I think I know who you're talking about.
Yep. And so those I really like. I liked I have a friend, Apple Milk, who is a spider lady. I have a friend, Esme, Prodigal Piccolo. Esme, who is a fish woman, so she has like fins, like so that's cute. Yeah, I think a lot of monster girl feet can be really appealing, and if anything, especially just for the uniqueness of it, you know what I mean? It gives you a little spice. It gives you a little something new.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I mean, giant stompies. What's not to enjoy about giant stompies?
Okay, what about technically not feet, but it's still the bottom of, like, a person? Because, like, Vex is a snake, and she has snake body, which isn't a foot, but I mean...
So it's not the same, but I would still enjoy it. And also, I mean, obviously, Vex's tail is great.
Tail, that's the word I was looking for. I'm like, it's body? I was trying to think of the word.
God,
Damn it.
think of tail.
Shut up.
But yes, the idea of being like coiled by Vex, and yeah, that's great. I love that. Obviously, it's very different from feet, but it also makes me appreciate that Vex is eventually getting a human form, because yeah, that'll be nice.
Yeah. Don't mind me being a nugget. It's fine.
No, it's okay. That's hilarious. But yes, okay. So I saw what Warlock said about dangling. So dangling is have you ever had it where I'll give you like two examples.
Okay.
One, either with your sandal, like you have one leg crossed over the other at the knee, and like imagine that you have the sandal kind of just like dangling there by like one toe or like one like whatever, and so it's like you're not quite wearing it, it's just kind of
I know what you're
there.
talking about, yeah.
Okay, that, or also like imagine you're wearing like flats, and like, you know, you have it like it's popped open so like you can see the inside of the shoe or like your sole, and like it's just kind of dangling there by your toe.
Wait, like it's broken or?
No.
Maybe
like,
I'm misunderstanding. Okay.
No, it's okay. So do you have flats, or have you worn them?
Do you mean like when you say flats, do you mean like ballet style shoes or like tennis shoes?
No, similar to ballet style.
Okay, thank you, King Cat, for being part of the Gloopy Gang for 3 months. I know you're talking about now. Yes, I've had those.
Okay, so imagine you're wearing those shoes and you have your legs crossed. You're not fully wearing it on the foot that is in the air. It's kind of partially popped off of your foot.
Okay, so like the heel's not over the heel.
Exactly.
Okay,
but
yeah.
But it's still dangling on like the front part of your foot.
I know what you mean now.
That's dangling. Yeah.
So just like dangling shoes. I guess you could also dangle socks too.
I guess, but that's a lot harder because that means you would have to like...
Or like have them half off, you know?
Sure, yeah, exactly. But yeah, no, so basically it just means that the foot is dangling partially off of your foot. Thanks Phoenix.
Night, Phoenix. I hope you sleep well.
Bye. Yeah, and so that is an appealing pose just because then it gives you like a peek at the foot and you're like, ooh, you know.
I see what you mean.
Yeah.
I didn't know there was a word for that.
Yep, yeah, it's literally just called dangling, which obviously, because it's dangling off your foot, you know.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense, and like, now that you say it, like, I've seen a lot of artwork that has it, but I guess I never, like, it's one of those...
its own thing.
Well, it's one of those things that's normal, so it's not like, you don't think of it as, like, something more, you know?
Yeah, no, I totally get you. And I saw Brish Chris say, I mean, the act of slowly taking your socks off can definitely be seductive. Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, but that's basically just, like, strip teasing with your socks, pretty much.
Which can be hot.
Yeah. Yeah, Zori tried to explain it as well. It's like you're playing with your shoe when someone pops their heel out of their shoe, but their toes are still inside, semi-wiggling in it about. Yep, exactly.
I may or may not do that when I lean back in my chair, I'm not gonna lie.
Well, like, hey, and you know what? I love that.
Play with your shoe. Do you know what I mean? Like, specifically flip-flops, I'll do that with. Like, you let it just, like, hit the bottom of your foot and just kind of play with it.
that's what I'm pointing out, and that's what I love, is that something extremely normal to other people, like, that is, like, absolutely, like, nothing, you know, lewd or NSFW about it, can be, like, you know, the most, like, head-turning thing for other people.
I couldn't imagine, like, that makes me wonder, like, have I made people feel, like, certain ways in public when I'm just, like, existing on accident? Like, I feel kind of bad, like, because it's not like I meant to, like, make people feel ways.
No, not at all, but, I mean, honestly, it's possible, you know what I mean? But that's the thing, is that, like, obviously, like, people find all sorts of people or things attractive, so
I mean, that's true.
Just by anyone existing, you might make someone feel that way.
I might make them hot and bothered.
Hey, you never know. But absolutely, like, you know, I'm literally imagining, like, you're just being yourself, playing with your, like, sandal or shoe or something out in, you know, out at Disney, and there's someone behind you just like, oh, like.
I do. It's not like. But I literally can think of times I have, because, okay, there's certain parks I'll wear sandals to, but other parks I won't, because I don't want my ankles to be eaten.
Yeah.
Man, I guess I'm a menace without meaning to be.
I mean, listen, I'm not gonna complain.
Because you're benefiting. Benefiting.
My God, you're horrible. Yeah, I mean, okay, listen, I'm benefiting in that way, but also, like, I don't know, listen, we need more people who are appreciative of, you know, these things, and just are aware of, you know, us feet enjoyers, and don't mind I don't know, playing into it. You know?
So what you're saying is, next time I do it, I should look around and see if anyone meets me in the eyes, and just be like,
I'm not gonna
hey.
lie, that would be the fucking funniest thing. If that ever happens, you have to tell me.
I will let you know if that happens. I think that'd be funny.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, Brish Chris, I know what the ignoring aspect of the kink is. Yeah, so ignoring is its own kink, honestly.
Like being ignored?
Yeah, like being ignored. So like
I was trying to understand. I'm like, what?
No. I can explain it. I don't know if it's fully its own kink, but at least in the terms of, like, foot fetish, I can tell you that it means, like, imagine someone just, like, sitting down and like reading a magazine or watching TV or whatever, and they know that they're either being watched or being filmed, like, you're enjoying the sight of their feet, but they're just completely ignoring you.
Like voyeurism?
Yeah, exactly. But the way I see it too.
With feet?
Yes, yep.
Okay.
Yeah. So the way I see it is, it could either be seen as partially voyeurism, or, like, the point of it is, like, they know you're there, but they're purposely ignoring you because you're, like, beneath them. Like, you're like, do you know what I mean? Like, it's not worth, like, giving you attention. So, like, sure, you can enjoy looking at my feet, but that's all you're gonna.
It could also play into, like, using someone as, like, furniture.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, yeah. Do you like that, Phil?
Okay, so I'm not as into the ignoring thing, but I am into the, like, I guess, humiliation, or, like
being teased.
Being teased or dominated in that way. So, like, for example, you joked about, like, the using furniture thing. Like, like, would I like to be used as a footrest? Like, yeah, absolutely. Or if someone, like, did the ignoring thing and was like, oh, hey, you know, I'm gonna enjoy my thing, and you can just be down there, and, like, that's all you get. Like, yeah, I can see that being appealing. You know what I mean? But more in, like, a role play sense, not in, like, a, you know what I mean? I've had to specify this with so many people. I am very into like humiliation and stuff like that, but it has to be done in a specific way for me because
Like a private setting.
Not just a private setting, yes, but also more so the fact of like I've seen some humiliation stuff that's very like just mean-spirited in the way of being like, you're a loser, you're like a...
Oh, that's degradation.
Well, okay, that's what I mean. Like, I'm into degradation, but I'm not into it if it's just strictly like mean for the sake of making you feel bad. You know what I mean? And some people are into that. Like that's valid. But for me, I need it to be kind of like undercut with like a little bit of praise or like a little bit of like playful teasing. Where
Oh,
it's
like playful degradation then.
Yeah, where it's like, to me it's like, you know, like, I don't know, like
Maybe something like, oh, you're such a dirty little boy. Like that kind of shit?
yeah, that kind of thing. Yeah. But like I'm trying to think of it as like, I don't mind if you're
Because
like,
it's not
like,
mean, but like it's still teasing.
yeah, exactly. Like if it's undercut with like, hey, like you're man, I wish apparently I'm just not a good dirty talker.
Sorry, of all these eyeballs on you. It's
But
intimidating.
it's something like, you know, you're like, you know, a little thing, but you're my little thing. Do you know what I mean? Like that kind of thing where it's like I'll demean you and I'll like degrade you, but then I'll undercut it with like, hey, like, but you're mine, or like, I appreciate you, or like, I think it's cute that you're so like, okay, pathetic is one that I really like. It's like, hey, like, you're a pathetic little thing, but I find that cute, or like, you're my little pathetic thing. You know what I mean? So it's like yes, make fun of me, but also like coddle me. You know what I mean?
No, I get what you mean. See, I'm not into degradation because I don't like being mean. I don't like people being mean to me. So I'm always like, I understand how people can like it, but at the same time, I'm like, that's just mean.
Yep. I've had people literally be really surprised and be like, you like being called pathetic? What the hell? And it's like, I don't know. It's to me, it's hard to describe why I like being degraded. Because it's like, I couldn't really tell you, but I think it's the domination aspect. Do you know what I mean? I think it's that feeling of someone is
being put in your place.
Yeah, exactly. Being put in my place. They're making sure that I know that I am smaller than them. I'm beneath them. You know, they are in charge, or, you know, like that kind of thing. But then also, like, kind of like you said, like, how pet play can come into it as well. You know, and if it's like, just kind of playing into the whole, like, yeah, you're beneath me, but you also belong to me. You know.
I get that.
Yeah.
So Bill needs a little collar.
Yes, actually. I love that I have that collar art of me with the
Did Cynical
with the
do
leash.
that?
Yes, she did.
It's cute.
Oh, it was so good. The moment Cynical came up with that "your character here" thing, I messaged her. I'm like, hey, whenever you open that up, please let me know, because I want to be the first one to get that.
Oh my god, it's like, yes, please me.
Yeah.
That's cute though.
I want to see Excalibur. Also, how do people do dirty talk without cracking up? Listen, I don't know. I find it bothers me that there are some people who think that the bedroom should be a very serious place.
Oh my god, the bedroom
You
is
know?
not serious. I'll fucking crack jokes.
Okay, good. Me too. Like, that is absolutely how I operate, where it's like, listen, awkward or funny things will happen, and it's okay to laugh and joke about it. Like,
Sometimes bodies make noises.
Yep, and you can laugh about it, but I think there's some people who are like, no, like, it's very, like, intimacy is very serious, and it's like, no, I can't do that.
I'm not that serious of a person.
Yeah. It's so funny. I like that Brish Chris brought this up, and I guess this is something interesting that's important for everybody to talk about. So for example, Brish Chris said, "See, being called pathetic is too much for me, and I'm glad it's your thing." Everyone, there's not like a set spectrum of words where like these words are worse than these other ones. Like
Yeah.
a lot of the terms are just kind of like, for example, I don't know why, I don't like being called loser, and I don't like being called like freak. You know, like those are just words that I'm just like, I don't know, they're not sexy to me. They're not like appealing. They're just
No, I get what you mean. There's like terms you don't want to be called.
Yeah, they're just mean spirited. But then like for some reason, I don't like those. But then pathetic, I'm like, oh yeah, please.
No, I get it. Because like I don't like being called a whore, but like being called a hoe is fine. And I'm like, that's like the same thing. What's wrong with me?
No, I agree. It's like that's really bizarre, but that's also just how we operate. You know,
that's how brains work.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm glad I'm not the only one. I'm glad you agree. You have the exact same thing.
But knowing your own limits is important, and letting people know your limits is also very important.
Oh, absolutely. I've had to tell people. I've had to explain the whole like, you know, I've joked that I'm into light humiliation. You know, because it's like, I like it. I like being degraded and stuff, but it has to be done, you know, a certain way and not in like a very mean-spirited, you know, I'm just talking down at you and you're nothing, and you know what I mean, that kind of thing.
Yeah. It makes sense.
Relationship and dialogue in relationships is very important.
Communication.
Yes. Communication.
It's the grounds of everything.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because, like, you need to talk to your partner about this stuff. You talk to yourself about this stuff. Important.
Yeah. And as I've already said, I think because freak is used in a more negative light most of the time. Yeah, see, I agree with you. Freak is normally just a purely negative term. But I also wouldn't say pathetic is ever used in a, like, do you know what I mean? Like, it's not a positive word. It's still a negative word. So I get what you were saying, how it's like, yeah, some words are just okay and others aren't.
Some just words hit different.
And just changes from person to person.
Yeah.
I have too much of a praise kink for that kind of stuff. Hey, listen, that's totally valid. Well, no joke, it's very wild being someone who has both a praise kink and a degradation kink at the same time.
I can see how that would work, because, like, I have a praise kink. I literally have an emote that's good girl because of, like, being called a good girl.
That's cute. I love that.
I can see why someone could have both. Like, it makes sense. Like, you want to get degraded, but then you want to be told you've done a good job afterwards. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you, Vil. Glasses.
You're welcome. Yeah, no problem.
Thank you.
Ava, listen, everybody, I think Ava's done a really good job tonight. I think we should all give Ava a little praise.
Oh my god. Hey, at least I'm open about it.
And I appreciate that about you. That's a great thing. Good. I'm glad I've started that.
Thank you. Actually, I think Cinder was the first one who did it, but I appreciate everyone.
Yes. Glasses. Thank you for the 25 bits. I get that, Vil. I will say after some time, when I got called pathetic. Oh, I see.
A woo.
A woo.
Oh, here's a question from Chris. Do you think that the adult industry has impacted what's perceived as normal within the kink? Like making the degradation aspect feel more normal?
I would say yes. I mean, the funny thing is the adult industry has pushed a lot of things in general. I mean, I think it's been talked about how the adult industry is actually like the reason why a lot of technology like upgrades happen.
I mean, it is, which is funny.
Yeah. Oh, it's hilarious. As far as whether it impacts what's normal in a kink, yeah, I would say it does because, you know, of course, it's similar to like how if things get published a lot in mainstream media, you know, then it'll become more normalized. So just like in the adult industry, if there's a lot of a certain type of content, the more you see it, the more that gets more normalized. But yeah, I don't know. I think that makes sense to me. praise means so much more when you're degraded just a smidge. Okay, I agree with you. I agree with you a lot there. I like to be called pet. Hey, me too. That's a fun aspect about being an animal, about being a crab, is that it makes complete sense for me to be a pet.
Does that mean my shoe is now your little pet house? It's not just your house, it's your little pet house.
Maybe.
like how the dog has a house outside and said Bill has a little shoe house.
Okay, wait, but is that implying I'm your pet?
I mean, why not?
Let's go!
I'm here to embrace and lava my friends.
And Ava, I appreciate you for that.
I feel like people are really surprised how chill I am about some things, but I'm like, it makes them happy. They're my friend. I like to see them happy.
You're so wholesome. I appreciate you so much.
I mean, I'm also like a chill person. Like chat still thinks it's weird, I think, but like I've literally showered with the homies, and I'm just like, sometimes you shower with the homies, and like it's not even like a sexy thing. It's just you just shower with the homies sometimes. like at the beach, I like the 2 times I've gone afterwards, my friend and I, like different friends, different times, have both like showered outside together afterwards and helped get sand off of each other. It's like shower with the homies, or you could just like full on shower with the homies. But I don't know how to describe it. I'm weird. It's fine.
Listen, no, it makes sense to me. I appreciate this because I know Soleil has also talked about this. I don't know if you've seen her talk about it on Twitter, but like I want to say joke, but it's not a joke. It's also serious. But it's like the whole thing of being platonically lewd or kinky with the homies, and it's like,
that's the vibes I love.
Specifically, I think Soleil said, let's make 2023 the year of the bro job.
I love that.
But no, I mean, I totally agree where it's like, if you're comfortable with someone enough and you, I mean, literally, Ava is kind enough to, view me as close enough of a friend to send me like feet pics and stuff randomly.
Unprompted, mind you. I'm just like, hey, I think Vil would like this.
And it's just because she knows I enjoy it, and I'm sure she enjoys me getting flustered in my
It's
reaction.
adorable. Maybe I just enjoy your reaction. Maybe that's what's in it for me.
I'm sure that's what's in it for you.
You right, glasses.
Wait, what? Shower with the homies. Yeah, exactly. The crab gets some. Listen, like I said, Ava's a kind enough friend, and every time Ava sends me that, I mean, basically, this is what my reaction is.
Because I never like warn Vil it's gonna happen. It's never some prompt like, hey, would you like this? Or hey, heads up. It's just foot pic. No context foot pic.
Nope. Yeah, exactly. More like a major short circuit. But I have a short circuit, and then I always go, okay, thank you. I appreciate you, thank you.
Every time you thank me, I'm like, oh, Vil.
I want you to know, I'm like, have you ever seen, whether you've seen the movie or at least seen the GIF, the Wayne's World, the like, we are not worthy. And
yeah,
like,
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, okay, yeah, that's me. There you go.
Oh my god, Vil.
Listen, like I said, well, and that's what I was talking about before, like we were talking about with like, being platonically like lewd and kinky with the homies. It's like, that's why I'm so dumbfounded and also appreciative whenever any of my friends sent me a feet pic and they're just like, yep, Vil, I know you like feet, so here's my feet. And I'm like, thanks. Like, I'm just, you know what I mean? Like,
I'm glad you can get platonic foot pics from the homies.
I'm glad. It's and listen, I'll be honest about this as well. There's even a couple friends that I know who like they're people who are already into the NSFW stuff, and they like do custom content and sell, stuff and NSFW things. And if it's someone who I know and I'm comfortable with, I'll approach them and be like, hey, do you do feet pics? And they'll be like, yeah, sure, like, let's do it. And I'm like,
Nice.
cool, you know. But that's like, it makes me happy that I know people who are open and comfortable about that stuff, because it's like, yeah, like, you support me, I'll support you, and you know, everybody wins, you know.
I will say we should talk about something important though, because consent when sending foot pictures is very important.
Oh yes, absolutely. That is a problem I think the reason why Ava's saying this is because she knows I've had problems with this in the past.
Yes.
Where people have sent me pics that do not ask beforehand or have never sent me them. Ava is at a point where she's literally, you know, one of my closest friends. She knows my interests.
I've known you for like a year now.
Yeah. She can send me these things, no context, no problem. But if someone doesn't know me or is an acquaintance of mine, and how about, I'll put this out, even a friend who, you know, we've never interacted in that way before, and they send it to me out of the blue, I would get very uncomfortable because you know, it matters that I have the consent of like, hey, I want to send you this picture, can I send this to you or whatever, because if we haven't had that like back and forth, and they don't, like, I haven't joked with them in that kind of way, it's possible that I don't want that relationship with them, or I'm not interested in that kind of stuff with them. And if they send it to me, it's basically the same as like sending an unsolicited like nude or like dick pic or something. And if you wouldn't send someone an unsolicited dick pic, I would prefer you also don't send someone an unsolicited foot pic, because to me it's the same thing, you know.
And just because you like feet doesn't mean like you like all feet.
Yeah, and that's something that's been very, very difficult to get across, because I've had multiple people, and no joke, I'm not, because I don't even remember who it was, but it's happened in this stream. Someone actually
Vil, I'm so sorry.
No, it's okay, like, not a big deal, but I'm just, it adds to my point. Someone, and like I said, I don't even remember who it was, but someone earlier in this stream was like, oh, Vil, don't worry, I'll step on you, like, I'll, like, whatever, like, you know, you can have my feet or something like that. And it's like, listen, just because I like feet, I don't know you, it doesn't mean I'm gonna like all feet. And also, this is something that, like, doesn't matter that much, but, like, I think is something
No,
that,
it does matter, because consent's important.
You're right. I'm talking about what I'm about to say.
Oh.
But actually, I take that back. You're right. It still does matter. But it's like, people don't really tend to think about my like sexual orientation when it comes to this. Because it's kind of hard to define. But for me personally, the way I've always said it is, I am personally attracted to femme presenting people. So that's just who I prefer. But it's funny because anyone and everyone will be like, oh, you must like my feet because you like feet. And it's like, listen, I don't...
No.
Just because you like sex doesn't mean you want to have sex with literally everybody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or like, that would be like someone who, like, you know how people always joke in the VTuber community about like thighs? You know, and it's like, oh, I like thighs. And it's like, okay, you don't like literally everybody's thighs, do you? Like, there are some people you do and some people you don't, or whatever. You know, everyone has their preferences. And so, no one, I have never, not that there's anything wrong with this. If people like this, that's great. Everyone has different sexual orientations and stuff like that. But, like, I've never gone awooga at, like masculine feet. And I'll still have people who said, like, tons of dudes who will be like, oh, Vil, you like feet? Well, here's mine. And I'm like, no, I've never, why would you think I would like that? And because to me, it feels almost similar to, like, someone's like, you know, hey, I'm, like, you know, a lesbian, you know? And it's like, you have guys being like, oh, but what about me? And it's like, no. Like, that's not what I'm interested in.
Everyone has preferences.
Everyone has private, but the thing is, because I like feet, which is something that everybody has, no one thinks about my orientation. People only think, oh, you like feet? I have feet, so you must like my feet. And I'm like,
no.
no, that's not how that works.
Definitely not.
Yeah, so it's
That's
just very
still
frustrating.
important. That's still very important.
No, and I agree. That's why I was being flippant about it. But I'm like, you know what? That's why I was like, never mind.
Stand
You're
up
right,
for
Ava.
yourself, Phil.
It is important, but yeah, it's just very frustrating that people don't think about that and instead just go like, oh well, you know, same thing with like the vor thing. It's like, oh well, you like being eaten, so obviously you must like it if anyone eats you. And I'm like, actually, no.
That'd be like saying, oh, you like a hand job, that means you like one from anybody. No, I doubt you want that. You know what I mean?
It's like, that's crazy to think, but no one thinks about that because my kink is so different that people are like, oh well, obviously you must like
everybody
it. Like,
have hands, Vil, obviously.
Duh, idiot. Oh my god.
The
yeah,
boundaries
so
is important.
Yeah, people honestly just need more boundaries, and I actually did kind of make a little mini thread about it the other day because
I know you did.
You saw that? Okay, yeah, because no, it's funny, I was gonna save it for this stream because I knew we were gonna talk about it, but I was like, no, I have to post about this because it's immediately relevant, because I was like, you know, I did the whole, hey, I present you with a crab, what do you do? And a bunch of people who I don't know were like, oh, I'm gonna eat you, and I'm like, hey, please don't. Thanks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas other friends of mine were like, I'll eat you, Vil, and I'm like, yeah, let's go!
Which I know can be confusing for people, but like, consent's important, and like I'll flirt with my friends, but it's like, they're my friends. It's like, we're fine with that, but I don't want like strangers flirting with me because it's like, the fuck?
Yeah. I think that's the hardest part, is trying to find that balance of like, because I get that a lot of people are just joking when they say that stuff.
Yeah.
But to me, it's obviously something that matters to me, and it's not a joke to me. So it's kind of hard trying to like put down that boundary of like, hey, I get where you're coming from. Please don't do that in the future. Thank you. You know, like that kind of thing.
And no one should ever be upset when someone like places boundaries, because it's for them and it's important, and you should be respectful of them, no matter what they're in relation to.
Yeah, and I mean, you know, everybody knows me as the foot crab and like knows how kinky I am. However, like, I can turn that on and off. I'm not like that all the time. It might seem like it because I act that way on my friends' streams and on my own streams, but like.
But streams are kind of a performance if you think about it.
Yeah,
it's not
exactly.
like you're like that 24/7.
And also, I feel comfortable, you know, in my communities and with my friends to act that way. But like, if I'm, let's say I'm like collabing with someone who I don't know like very well, or like I don't have that boundary established with them, I won't even bring it up, because it's not like, I'm not going to go to someone who I'm not friendly with or not like really close with and go like, hey, can I see your feet though? You know what I mean? Like, that's fucking deranged. Like,
I know, I get what you mean, because like I'll make like lots of dick jokes, or like I'll flirt with close friends of mine, but like if it's someone I haven't really interacted with, it's not like I'm gonna go like ham the first time I meet them. You gotta have some of that repertoire, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Like, sorry, let me pinch them toes. Bro, what? Yeah, I mean, that's very true, is that it all of it matters on comfort level and boundaries. And even if, okay, here's another problem actually. I actually know someone on Twitter who dealt with this recently, where it's like, because they've acted lewd on Twitter before, people view that as a reason that they can just act lewd with them whenever.
Oh no.
And hey, guess what? That's not the case. That's not consent. You know, just because someone makes that kind of content, or because someone acts a certain way publicly on Twitter, that's them presenting how they want to be presented. That doesn't give you the okay to go into their DMs and be like, hey, literally the person who I'm talking about had someone DM them something like, you know, like, hey, I bet you have a juicy ass, or something like that. And it's like, what the fuck? Like,
people are weird.
Yeah, people are extremely weird. It's like, listen, you know, don't don't get too comfortable with people, especially if you've just met them. Like, you gotta establish those boundaries.
Oh, and I agree with what Allie is saying. Because, like, just because you participate in something doesn't mean you want to participate in it with everyone. And that doesn't mean it goes any further. Like, I send feet pics to Vil, but that's just because Vil's my bro. Like, it's not like I'm going to go sleep with Vil. Like, you know what I mean? I mean, even if you were asexual, you know what I mean?
Yes, no, I appreciate it.
Let me just add that in there. I'm just saying, like, just because you participate in one type of thing doesn't mean, like, you're going to participate in everything, I guess would be a better way to say it.
No, exactly. Yeah. It's everyone has different boundaries, and it's always important to, you know, talk about those and put those up. And like you said, Ava, you know, it's unfortunate that people do react poorly sometimes, but no one should, you know, being able to set your boundaries should be a normal thing and should be just wholly accepted. It shouldn't be like oh well, because I've had a couple people when I set my boundary, they go, oh well, sorry, like I was just joking, like you know what I mean? I don't know, it comes off very like,
you know, I tell people jokes are funny and that wasn't funny.
Yeah.
No, people get so mad because like people have said shit in chat, I'm like, that wasn't funny, and they're like, well, I was just joking. That's not funny, that wasn't a joke. Like, jokes are funny, my guy.
Yep.
People get so defensive. I mean, sometimes you can get your feelings hurt by someone setting a boundary, but it's important to be respectful of them.
Yeah, and I mean, like, you know, I don't know, like, I think that's just a way to also grow closer with someone is if hopefully you never make someone uncomfortable. But I have had it where, because I'm asexual, sometimes people don't know my boundaries. So I've had it where some people have breached those boundaries, but some of my very close friends who I still have breached that boundary. I told them when they did, and they said, oh, I'm so sorry, I didn't realize it, like, I'll make sure to keep that in mind for next time. And guess what, it never happened again, and like, it's all good, you know. And that makes me feel even closer with them, because it makes me feel appreciated that they respected my boundary. And you know, yeah, it just
Respect
is very nice.
Very important.
Exactly, respect is very important. Yep.
Because like if one day you're just like, Ava, never send me another foot pic again, I'd be like, okay. Yeah. I would respect that.
I appreciate that. I won't say that, but also I'm glad that if it ever did, you would respect it.
Well, everyone has like boundaries, and like consent can be revoked at any time, like I've talked about before.
Yep. No, yeah, that is very important to always keep in mind.
And I know this was an important thing that you wanted to bring up. That's why I was like, we got to talk about this.
Thank you. I'm glad you brought it up, because yeah, it is very important. And you know, I doubt anyone here needed to hear it, but just in case, you know, if it either helps other people feel more comfortable setting their own boundaries, or maybe going forward when you interact with other people, you'll think to yourself, hey, you know, is it okay if I say this to this person? Or, you know, should I choose my words more carefully? You know, that kind of thing.
I mean, you can always ask for consent to be like, hey, this is something I would like to do. Is this all right with you? And if they say no, take the no. And if it's a yes, then go ham, you know?
Yep. I've literally had people, because I made that boundary post the other day, I literally had a couple people go, hey, Vil, can I ask you straight up, are you okay with this? And I'd go, yes, or I'd go, no. And it made me very happy, because people were actually asking about my boundary. Yeah, like... The only thing that made me feel horrible was I actually had 2 or 3 friends who messaged me in DMs being like, oh my god, Vil, if I ever overstepped a boundary, I'm so sorry. And I'm like, no, oh my god, you're someone who has my consent, and you are welcome to do that whenever, just not, you know, but I'm talking about other people who don't have that consent. Well,
obviously they cared about you and respected you, and that's why they felt bad, which shows just how good of friends they are.
That does matter to me a lot, yeah. I just felt bad because I didn't want to make them think that it was targeted at them, or that they had made the mistake. I'm like, oh no, you guys are great. Like, please continue.
I know it happens to you a lot, which really does suck. Yeah. But it's why it's important to talk about this type of stuff, because then it's more normalized to be like, hey, you should ask for consent. Consent is sexy, you know?
Yep. It's always good to double check and make sure.
Yes. You don't make an ass out of you and me.
No assuming.
Exactly.
And so it makes me appreciate even more that, you know, Ava and I established that boundary a while ago, and now we're so close that we just
We're just like
know where that
vibing.
boundary is. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
And yeah, I'm fine with that, Yugi. Thank you for asking.
Yay.
Consent. Huzzah.
Let's go.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, it's funny. I actually just asked Marina for consent on something today.
With armpits.
No.
With
This
feet?
is yes. Do you know that we've I think we talked about this last time we hung out. You know that feet art I got with Marina?
Yeah.
I'm gonna be submitting that to Vex's spicy art.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, which is gonna be really funny because I know everyone else's art is gonna be like full on like sex and nudity, and then mine's just gonna be me under Marina's feet. And to me, listen, to me that's NSFW. So I'm
That's
like,
great.
you know.
So what's funny is I submitted a picture for that too, and I had to contemplate what answer to put because one of the questions is like, does anyone else appear in this picture? And I was like, yes, but it's me in my male form, so no. So like I added in like the extra comments of like, I know there's two figures, they're both me, just my male and female forms.
Oh, that is funny actually.
So I was like, I just spent so much time thinking about it. I'm like, I think this is okay because it's still me technically, you know.
I love that. Yeah.
I can't wait to see Vex's reaction though. I think it'll be great.
Oh, that'd be hilarious. I think it'll be a hilarious palate cleanser to be like, you know, porn, nudity, sex, and then like, oh, Vil getting stepped on.
But that's
Okay,
expected.
cool.
I
Yeah,
figured you'd do
exactly.
something either being eaten or being steppied on.
Yep. Those are the two.
Those are the spiciest things that Vil wants to do.
Exactly. And I love it. We love technicalities, we do.
Technically, that's like in D&D. Sorry, I'm gonna bring this up.
No, go for it.
We're playing like an after Curse of Strahd game, and so Strahd's body is in like all these different places, and we're trying to put it back together. And I asked my DM, like, technically, is Strahd's body parts considered objects? And he's like, yes, and side-eyed me. I was like, okay, good. I have was it locate object? I took locate objects so I can locate his body parts because technically they're objects now.
Technically, that's hilarious. I
And
love that.
technically there's not just gonna be a lot of random libs in like an area to like ping, so technically I'm smart.
You know what's really funny? This is really random, but like, to tie a little bit back into the
Sorry.
No, it's okay. But because you brought this up, it made me think of it. When I was younger, I had the D&D, like, you know, player book.
Yeah.
And the player book had a height chart of all the monsters together.
Yes.
And one of the monsters, the tallest monsters, was a female giant.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember seeing that, just being like, I like that.
Of course you did, Vil.
Listen, what's
questions.
not to enjoy, you know?
Oh, here's a good question for you. How long did it take you to realize that you were into the feeties?
So like I said, there was a lot of stuff even when I was younger that, like...
Yeah, but you didn't know then. When did you, like, know?
No, that's what I'm saying, is that, like, yeah, like, that stuff happened, but it's not, it's not like I thought of it, like, in that way. No, honest to God, I'm pretty sure the way that I found out was, so there's two things.
Okay.
One, I think I knew I was into size difference before I was into feet, actually, which is really wild to think about. So the reason why I think I realized I was into size difference is because there was one book at my school that I was obsessed with reading whenever we had free time, and it was a choose your own, like, adventure book, except this one was about shrinking.
Oh.
Yeah, and it was literally like, hey, you've gotten shrunk out in the forest. What do you do? And so
do you
it was
think
just
that writer meant anything by it, or was it just like, huh, like innocent?
no clue. I couldn't tell if it was innocent or actually written. I mean, again, it was at my school, so clearly it was made like for all ages or whatever.
Well, yeah, but that's not saying anything. Just look at Totally Spies.
No, I mean, you're right. You're right in that. So yeah, I have no idea. I don't know if it was written with intention or not. But I was fascinated with this book. And so I think eventually I started trying to look up like what like giants and giantess were.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's how I found the images of like the giant women about to step on you or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And that made it click where I'm like, oh, I really, really like that.
It was a nice thing. Sorry, chat. I got them all riled up about Totally Spies.
Oh, that's okay. No, I mean, listen, I'm happy to talk about that too because I liked Totally Spies growing up. And when you look in the moment, you never realized it.
Yeah.
But then now looking back, oh my God, there's like bondage, there's inflation, there's obviously foot fetish, there's the growth
Latex.
and shrinking.
There's so much.
Latex.
Like when I was watching it, it seemed normal. But like I feel like that's a way with a lot of kids shows though. Like you don't see things from like an adult's point of view. And then you're like, there's dick jokes in this kid's cartoon. What the fuck? You know?
Mm-hmm.
And then with Totally Spies, it's like, this is just a bunch of fetish content.
And the thing that I kind of appreciate is as long as it's not done in an actually inappropriate way,
Mm-hmm.
like if it's something that's either meant for adults as like a little nod, like a wink wink, like haha, see, like you get it.
Yeah.
That's actually like, I don't know, I think that's fun when shows include that. And also, I mean, hey, at least now we all have this shared consciousness of Totally Spies being like, oh, maybe that awakens something in me.
I feel like a lot of kid shows awaken something in people. Like, I know my first like crush on a girl was totally Sailor Jupiter, to be completely honest. Or Sailor Moon. She was my favorite. I was like, I really like Sailor Jupiter, but I didn't know why. And looking back, I'm like, oh.
That's really funny. I remember I had a crush on Misty from Pokemon.
A lot of people did. Mhm.
Yep. Also, if anyone ever saw Kim Possible.
Yes, I loved Kim Possible.
Kim and Shigo.
Shigo's a mood.
Listen,
Definitely.
I know that Kim and Shigo are two different flavors, but Shigo, I mean, they're both great, but also like, my God, Shigo's like the awakening of like, if you're into goth girls at all, that's a pretty good awakening point. I think same thing with like Raven.
Oh yeah, Raven has really nice legs.
Yep, and also Starfire. I liked Starfire when I was younger. Oh, Frankie. Yeah, Frankie from Imaginary Friends.
Oh, she had like the like big sister or like tomboy kind of vibes.
She really did have the big sister tomboy vibes, exactly. Which actually, I never well, I mean, I did go for this, but I never realized that Frankie was similar. With Liv, for those who know my other character, Liv. Liv, I very much created with the idea of having her be more of like a big sister tomboy kind of character.
I could definitely get that vibe, yeah.
You can get the vibe? Okay, good. Because I no joke, I'm gonna push on this if anyone ever does it in chat. I do not want people calling Liv mommy because I think that's just, it doesn't fit her. It's weird. You know, if people like being called it, that's fine. But I don't think you should, because I don't like that the VTuber community has kind of taken to calling everybody mommy, especially if they're not okay with it.
I'm indifferent being called mommy. I also joke about being called daddy because of my male model. But like, I will put my foot down. I'm like, I am not mother. I am not father. I hate that shit. Please never.
You'll do what?
I put my foot down because I don't. God damn it, Phil. You knew what I meant, you fucking gremlin.
I knew what you meant. But I had to point it out.
Fuck.
I knew you did it on accident, which is why I had to harp on it.
It's fucking phrasing, I swear to God. But seriously, like I
Yes.
do not like being called like mother and father, but like mommy and daddy, I'll just joke around and be like, I can be your mommy or your daddy, you know?
Well, and that's the best part is that you've given your consent to be called those things, and
Yeah.
that's great. But you know,
mhm.
for people who haven't, it's like, yeah, don't push those labels on them if they're not okay with that. And so for me, for Liv, she's very much the like big sister, you know, tomboy best friend type. So you know, if people come up with, I mean, Liv thankfully is already a small name, so I don't think there's a whole lot of nicknames you can give Liv. But if people, you know, end up wanting to call her Big Sis or something, you know, fine, go ahead, but just don't. Oh my God, don't call her mommy. I promise, I will actually like, I'll ban people for, you know, if they
Oh my
don't
God.
respect that.
Hey, consent. It goes back to consent.
Exactly. Boss is another good one. Boss is great.
No one's ever called me boss. I don't think I'm mean enough to be boss.
I don't think you give boss vibes.
I'm too cozy.
I like that Zori said 100% same. There are even OCs. Also, Sabrina from the Pokemon anime had the hand reaching scene. Yeah, because
you,
in the original anime, Sabrina shrinks them to be like dolls, and like she's
Ooh.
giant and like reaches for Ash and Misty and the rest of them. And yeah, I remember that.
Yep.
Oh yeah, Ellie. I mean, anyone can be called boss. It's not just Ellie's thing. But yes,
Yeah, but
obviously,
there's like a vibe
Ellie,
behind it, you know?
Ellie has the vibe, absolutely. That's actually one of the reasons. I have a voice redeem for Ada Ada on my channel for Liv.
Yeah.
Recorded by Vixen Stella, who's Liv's voice actress. And as part of that redeem, she doesn't just say Ada Ada. She actually says Ada Ada, and then it's like ... like a sign, like a pause, and then she goes, "Did I say that right?" And it's because Liv isn't like a mommy type, so I wanted her to be like, try it out and be like, "Did I do that right?" You know.
Thank you, Neckers, for the raid. I hope you had a really good stream. Hello, Raiders. My name's Eva Lamp. I'm an Eldritch Lava Lamp, and we're hanging out with Vil today, and we're talking about feet.
Yeah, the best topic.
Don't you mean the best bottomic?
Yeah. Sorry, my brain broke. I was like, what? And I was like, oh yeah, no,
so
you are
good.
absolutely correct.
It was so good it broke you.
Yes, for me it's a bottomic, yes.
Well, it's the opposite of the top. Not all my jokes are great, okay?
McKay's, I haven't watched, like, I've seen a couple clips, but yeah, I've seen SGT, or I don't know if it's Sergeant Frog or whatever. There's an anime with like a bunch of tiny frog people. And
yeah.
obviously that has a lot of size diff kind of stuff. I appreciate that our conversation today has just been unlocking a lot of other people's memories, or like, oh yeah, I remember this.
If you look for it, you can find a lot of things that you're not expecting. And you're like, oh, hello.
Ooh.
Like, I mean, even in new media, like, I'm gonna go to Vor, specifically Soul Vor, because Owl House has Soul Vor in it, of the little, shoot, what are they called? They're little animals. I can't think of their, pelicans?
Oh,
Palismans.
Palismans.
Palismans. So, like, Soul Vor.
No. Actually, it also has straight up Vor, because I remember it's in one of the first 1 or 2 episodes. What's her name? Ida.
The owl lady.
The owl lady. Yeah, Ida. Like, they defeated like a villain that like turned into like this little worm or a tiny creature or whatever, and like they pick it up and it's like, well, what should we do with this? And then Ida just eats it, and that's it. And it's like, it's done, it's over. And I was like, hello? Eyes emoji?
But like,
me next?
If you look for those things, you can find them. Like, someone mentioned like Mount Lady in My Hero Academia.
Yes!
Is she your favorite?
Oh, I love Mount Lady. Well, because I think, were we on stream together when I searched for this, or was it, I can't remember if it was with someone else, but Mount Lady came up on a stream of mine, and we ended up looking up the comics of Mount Lady.
Yeah, I don't think it was me.
Okay, yeah. So there's actually comics of Mount Lady where and they're not like, it's not in the manga, but it's like side things that the author, you know, drew. And one of them is like Mount Lady caused a bunch of damage, so she has to like you know, make up the money back. And so her manager was like, hey, I have a great idea. And she ends up doing a meet and greet with fans, except they have to pay. There's a sign that's like, pay X amount of money to get stepped on.
Oh my god,
not
seriously?
Kidding. That's the thing. I will find it to you and send it to you, but that's a real thing.
I love that though.
So like, that's what I'm talking about, where it's like, if we can have that kind of like positive, you know, like mainstream attention, please, that's what I want.
Hey, I mean, there are people that like it and want it.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with it. Mm-hmm.
No, absolutely. There is a big market for it.
Maybe this should be Alfkai have a sign that says Steppies $5. I wonder how much money I'd make.
Okay, but the problem though is that it would just be me in line, like
Vil.
over and over, you know. Someone tries to get in line, I'm like, get out of my way.
Only Steppies for Vil, apparently. Someone's being selfish with the Steppies.
Listen, everyone is welcome to get Steppies, whoever wants them. However, I get VIP status.
And yes, this is Vil. We love a Vil. We're having a good time talking about feeties with Vil.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Shut up and take my money. Okay, no joke, that is me though.
But then it would be you instead of it should have been me.
Yes, actually. Thank God it's me.
Well, I mean, like, legit, like, I've had people ask me for, like, TwitchCon, and I guess technically Offkai, because I'll be seeing you Offkai first, Vil, to step on them, and I'm like, sure, why not?
I appreciate you, especially because, you know, we've obviously talked about this, and I like how you were like, oh yeah, I'll even take off my shoe and, like, grind my foot on you or whatever. Like, you're like,
well, I asked, I was like, do you want it ground in? And you're like, yes.
You're like, listen, I'll give you the works, and I'm like, oh my god, thank you. my true homie.
I will say, it's because I know you. If someone else asked me to take off my shoe, I'd probably be like, Do you know what I mean?
That makes, well, yeah, but again, like you said, it's because we're friends, we're close, you know, we're comfortable with each other in that way. You're not going to be comfortable doing that for, like, everybody or anybody, you know? Yeah.
I guess it's just one of those boundaries. It's like, yeah, I'll step on you, but you get the shoe.
Well, no, hold on. I mean, I love that. You know what, Ava, I feel so special now. Thank you. No, but, like, that reminds me of, like, listen, you know how much, like, I enjoy this stuff, but, like, even with how much I enjoy it, if some random woman walked up to me who I don't even know and was just like, hey, like, can I step on you? One, I'm not gonna lie, I would find that kind of hot. But two, I would probably still say no, because I'd be like, I don't know you. I don't know you. Like, what the hell, you know?
Mm-hmm. It's just really funny. Listen, like, I find it really hot, but no.
Because listen, I'd be embarrassed. Like, but I would still be like, listen, you're a stranger. I'm not, like, I don't even know who you are. Like, yeah, no, please, no, please. I appreciate. Listen, it's a compliment, and I appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
But no, thank you. You know.
Yeah.
But, like, if one of my VTuber friends who I know really well and knows that I like steppies is like, hey, Vil, like, I'll step on you. I'm like, oh my god, I'm lying down. I'm, you know.
My body is ready.
Exactly.
Thank God. This will be the first, like, VTuber convention, or, like, convention you've gone to since being a VTuber, isn't it? Maybe?
Yeah, this will be my first convention, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really excited.
I'm interested to see how you react to someone recognizing your name. Because for me, it was like, huh?
Oh yeah, it's gonna be wild if and when that happens.
I had it happen at TwitchCon, and I'm like, because, like, the only place I had my name, like, because I wore a shirt with myself because I'm a nerd like that. But, like, there were 2 days where I didn't even have, like, anything other than my badge on me that said who I was. And people are like, oh, you're Ava? And I'm like, you know who I am?
I'm wondering I want to know who's gonna recognize me because of my clips and who's gonna recognize me because of my
Your shirt.
streaming.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say because of your shirts.
And my shirt, but yeah, no, but or because you know my audience for people who watch only my clips and people who know me because of my actual content, like with streaming, are two different, you know, groups. So I'm curious to see how I'll get recognized. Oh, you came across Ava from a YouTube clip. Let's go.
Oh yeah.
Let's go.
That was probably my Vor ASMR.
I love that.
I still find it hilarious how well like my Vor ASMR streams do on YouTube.
It's hey.
I'm like, what?
Ava, I don't know if you know this. People search Vor on YouTube.
I didn't know they did. Okay, like I actually think my top viewed clip, or not clip, my top viewed video is my first Vor ASMR, and my second Vor ASMR has over 2,000 views already since I put up there. I'm like, oh.
I'm telling you, people watch it.
Maybe I'm on the wrong side of VTubing and I should just be like face first into Vor.
Hey, I would support you.
I wonder why.
Listen, I'm just looking out for you, you know?
You're so funny.
Thank you. I'm glad. Listen, someone has to think so.
I
Yeah,
mean,
exactly.
technically it was size difference ASMR because I was Big Ava. I was Big Ava while I ate everybody.
Yep. Very good. I was gonna say, if you ever want to do this again sometime and we talk about Vor, I mean that's a whole nother topic.
I mean, I'd be down. I know I had Red Claw on. You can't see, but behind me I have my my doctorate in Vor.
Yeah, I love that. I love that so much.
It's behind my head. But I've done so many streams about Vor, I decided, and someone in chat decided that I needed a doctorate at this point because I'm an expert. I'm not into Vor, but I'm an expert on Vor.
Hey, and as you should, you should have a something to prove your expertise.
Well, it's like I feel like I'm in such a weird place in like the Vor sphere, if that's even a thing. Do you know what I mean? Because it's like I'm not into it, but I know lots of people who are into it. And like I was part of the 4th of July, which was just all Vor tubers coming together. And like I've done literal streams specifically around Vor. My biggest YouTube video is about Vor.
And you're like, guys, I promise I'm not into it.
I mean, that's literally the thing. It's like, how did I, what?
And I'm very proud that I'm part of the reason why this started in the first place.
I mean, you probably are, let's be honest, between you and Vex and Red Claw.
Yep.
My God. Thank you, Void, for being part of the Gloopy Gang for 10 months. Welcome to the Gloopy Gang.
Gloopy Gang. Yeah.
I know you love doing that.
I do, actually.
You should make a little jingle for yourself.
I know. I don't know what it would be, though, but I'll try to figure out something.
I mean, mine is literally just saying Gloopy Gang like twice.
I still really want to do like a Vil I parody.
Vil I, the footy guy.
I was thinking, I mean that's a great one, but I was thinking Vil I, the clipping guy.
Well, you could be clipping crab.
Oh yeah, clipping crab, that too.
I was just being on topic,
being on
you know.
Brand. Yeah. No, I get you. I really need to use the restroom.
Go for it.
So I'll BRB. Thanks. Gotta use a little crab's room.
Go use the crab's room. We'll be here. Are you having fun, chat? Are you enjoying talking about feet? Are you enjoying hanging out with Vil? Oh, I know what we could do. Does one of the mods... Actually, we don't do that. If you like feet, type feet in chat. Let's see how many of you actually like feet. I'm curious. Just type feet. We'll just have a whole chat of feet, and Vil will come back to a bunch of feet. And be like, look, Vil, so many people like feet. I mean, isn't that a nice thing to do for Vil? I mean, I'm learning a lot too. There's nothing wrong with feet. Not lower hands. Why you gotta be cursed glasses? It's feet. Because imagine if someone just had hand... That'd be gorillas. Gorillas have, like, hand feet. So cursed, though. But are you all? I hope you're all enjoying the topic of feet, though. I know I've done a bunch of different topics before, and this is something me and Vil had talked about doing for a while. I mean, as long as you have respect for it, I think that's the important thing. Oh my god, that's horrifying. I don't want to. I've never seen that, Makaze, but that sounds horrifying. I'm glad you've been enjoying it, Chris. I enjoy getting to learn new things and talk about topics that people are passionate about. And Vil's very passionate about feet. As long as it's consensual feet. I'm glad it's been a fun class. I know I'm not Teacher Ava today, but I figured Cozy Feety Ava was perfect for this.
I'm back.
Welcome back. I had people put feet in chat if they were into feet. We got a lot of feet.
Oh, okay. Hey, wow. Hey, I'm glad to see that we have a lot of feet appreciators and enjoyers here tonight. Listen, I'm glad it's partially people wanting to learn and partially people being like, this is related to my interests.
Yeah, well, I mean, I like doing this because I like learning, you know?
Yeah, of course.
I wouldn't say like the topics I've covered have like expanded into things that I like. I mean, it's stuff I've been aware of because like I've done a whole series on sexuality. I've done some different kinks now. Like last time we talked with Zolan about what it was like being a partner to a sex worker. Like there's just a whole bunch of different topics I've done and I've enjoyed learning more.
Question for you.
Go ahead.
Even if, so obviously it's not like you yourself do not have, you know, a foot kink.
No.
But how are you to the idea of someone else being interested in you doing those things?
Like what?
Like if you had a partner who was into you know, the foot kink stuff. How open are you to the idea of like doing that stuff or being engaging with that stuff?
I wouldn't mind. I've given a foot job before, if that's what you're asking.
I wasn't asking that specifically, but I mean that's good information to know.
I mean, considering.
Literally, hold on. I would like to point out, I literally just meant if you had a partner who was into it, would you be like okay with engaging with them in general about it? I was not asking about specific acts, but it's also good to know. Thank you for sharing that very specific piece of information.
That's what came to mind first. I'm sorry. But that answers your question, yes?
Oh, that perfectly answers my question. Thank you for taking the answer.
Okay, but like, considering we're friends and I sent you feet pics, I mean, I feel like that gave you a pretty good idea.
Listen, okay. I mean, actually, yeah, you're right. I mean, that kind of clued me in, but nonetheless, I was curious to hear what your answer was. And I'm actually glad I asked because I got a way more interesting answer than I was expecting.
Sorry, that's the first thing that came to mind. I didn't filter myself, I'm sorry.
I don't mind. I obviously don't mind, and I'm sure chat did not mind based on their reaction. Everyone was like, "Whoa, what?"
Sorry, I was being honest.
My favorite response was lore unlocked.
Thank you, Lulu, for the raid. You came in at a hell of a time. Hello, Raiders. My name's Ava Lamp. I can't talk. My name's Ava Lamp. I'm an Eldritch Lava Lamp. I'm hanging out with Vil. We're talking about feet.
Yeah, hi.
Hi.
We're having a lot of fun.
Don't mind me.
We're also unlocking new Ava lore.
I was being honest.
No, and I love the honesty. Thank you for being honest. I mean, okay, here, you've given some new lore. I will say, I have, gotten those before as well, so.
Look, we get Vil lore, too.
See, exactly. I've also, you know what? I'll go, again, everything I'm saying is TOS, all fine. I'll go a step further and, give you more lore. I have seen so this isn't recent. This was like, I don't know, maybe 4 years ago or something. But I have seen a dominatrix to specifically do feet and giant test stuff with. So just, you know, and it's nice. It was very nice engaging with someone in a very. This was back when like I was still like, some of my close friends knew about the stuff I was into, but like it was still mostly like closeted. So it felt really nice to like embrace it, and like obviously like I had embraced it with my partners, but like I didn't have a partner at that time, so it felt nice to go to someone and just be able to wholly be like, hey, here's my kinks, like let's play with that. And yeah, that was a lot of fun.
I'm glad. And I'm glad you like the pun, Lulu, and I hope that your ASMR stream went well.
Banjo Man, I have seen the emote of the Kirby feet, and I hate it, and it's cursed.
Yep. But, I'd say I'm pretty open with things, like, be it, like, feet or other things. Like, I'm willing to try most things once. There's some things, like, I won't do just for, like, or, like, I won't do in specific ways just for, like, safety reasons. Like, I know, like, I think food play's hot, but, like, you gotta keep it out of certain areas.
Yes. Oh, absolutely.
But, I mean, be it feet or other things, I'm fine with, like, doing things to make my partner happy, even if I may not be interested in them. Plus, hell yeah, foot massages. Need I say more?
Let's go! Ava, if you ever need a foot massage, you know who to...
Hello?
Who to call.
Hey, Vil, we're in call right now.
I'm running. I'm coming.
I just imagined you, like, to be tapping with your little crab legs, like, I gotta go.
Goodbye, everybody. I'm sorry. This is the end of stream.
Just, like, busting the door down. Gotta go do those feet.
No, yeah. I mean, like, that's the nice thing is, you know, I'm similarly, like you said, even if you're not into a thing, you're willing to do something to make someone else happy. I'm the exact same way. I mentioned that about being asexual. It's like, yeah, I might not be into certain things or like even sex, but like if it would make my partner happy or whatever, then cool. I'm happy to do it for their sake. And, you know, that's how I see it, is that, and also I still get something out of it. That's not even just like a wholly, you know, altruistic thing. It's also like, hey, you know, I know that my friend, or not friend, I mean, sure, friend and partner, if I know that it'll make my partner happy, then great. Like, that gives me happiness in seeing and doing something for them that makes them happy.
You like seeing them happy.
Exactly.
I mean, that's what it goes down to. It's like, I mean, sexual or not, like, doing things to make other people happy. Like, I send Vil foot pics because I know it'll make Vil happy. Like, you just do things for your friends and for those that you care about.
And flustered. You like seeing me flustered?
I think it's adorable.
Oh no! Oh my god, off Kaya. It's gonna be fucking horrible.
Why? Why, Vil?
If you can, fuck.
What?
If you enjoy seeing and hearing me be flustered now, I can only imagine how you'll react when you see it in real time.
I will giggle uncontrollably, and I will try and make you as flustered as you will let me make you.
Oh my fucking god.
Please tell me if I ever go overboard, because I will stop, but... I'm probably a bit of a brat. I love teasing, so...
I promise to tell you if you ever go overboard. However, I highly doubt you will.
You say that now, and then you're just gonna be like, I can't breathe.
Honest to God, that might happen. I'm not gonna lie. Jesus, that's gonna be hilarious.
New fear unlocked. Feels like, oh shit.
Exactly.
Because
like,
you realize,
you're like,
wait a second, we're gonna be off Kai. Wait a second, we're sharing a room. Wait a second, we're sharing a bed.
Oh my god. Pray for me, everybody.
I think everyone's just jealous of you. I don't want to kill Vil.
Honestly, that is also true, and also I do not blame them. Listen, I'd be jealous of me, okay? I'd be the one putting up the, it should have been me, not him. It's not fair. Oh my god, fucking Lucky. Hi, Lucky.
Hi, Lucky. Can we get a shot for Lucky, pretty please?
I'm also a brat. She's just like me for real. Holy shit.
Hee hee.
That's so funny.
Vil-
Hi, Lucky.
Vil's gonna have to put up with me IRL. It's gonna be great. We're gonna have crabs together. I've been making horrible puns the whole time. It'll be wonderful.
That will be hilarious. The puns I will both appreciate and it will kill me inside.
It's gonna be great. Let's just say, like, at TwitchCon, I remember a distinct time when I was hanging out with my friend Raiden, and I don't know exactly what I said because we were at like the bar arcade, and like I said something, he just like whipped his head around and was like, "Excuse you?" Like he was like bright red in the face, like you just fucking said that to me in public, and I'm like,
That's fucking hilarious. Oh my god.
So be prepared, Vil. Be prepared.
Oh no. My eyes. I'm just like 1,000-yard stare like, oh god.
Mm-hmm.
Here,
If I'm this bad online, imagine me in person.
I know, that's exactly what I'm thinking. Oh my god. Fuck, what did I... Oh, no, what I was gonna
Did
say
I make you lose your train of thought there?
Yeah, you did, shut up.
Aww.
No, what you reminded me of is, because you mentioned TwitchCon, and related to the topic at hand, I remember that you were at a TwitchCon party.
Yeah.
And you were like, oh, like I got a random DM and you were at some, party and you had like, it was like a juice, Capri Sun, basically, like,
yeah, I
juice
sent that to you because it had little crabs on it. It reminded me of you.
Yeah, it had little crabs, and you were like, oh, it reminds me of Vil. And at first, I was just very like, oh, like, Ava thought of me, even though, like, she's at a party at TwitchCon. That's really cute. Like, that's nice. And, you know, and then, like, 2 minutes later, Ava sends me another photo, and it's her stepping on the crab on that juice box.
Well, okay, so I sent the picture, and then I was like, in my brain, I was like, you know what? I could make this better.
Yeah, and you made it better by stepping on it, and I was like,
Yeah.
Ava, what the fuck?
Again, unprompted pictures out of nowhere.
It was very funny.
I'm a good friend.
Yes, you are a very good friend, that's true.
Mm-hmm.
I just remember being like, oh, you know, if I had a drink, I would spit it out.
I'll have to be careful to be out of the splash zone then when we're hanging out.
Oh my lord. Yeah, you really will. Brish Chris, thanks for being here.
Have a good night.
Trying to destroy the man. I feel like Ava does that every time.
I'm good at it. It's a talent.
Ava just tries to find new ways to destroy me.
That sounds so dirty, Vil.
Oh my god, I didn't...
The way you said it.
I know, I didn't mean it like that. But...
Holy shit. And then I embarrassed you because you... Hashtag phrasing.
Yeah, I know. Listen, we both had slip-ups tonight, okay?
Uh-huh. Who's
Yeah,
more embarrassed by theirs?
Oh, me, absolutely. That's also because I'm very easily flustered, so...
You're right.
You're like, yeah, I know.
So, is there anything else you would like to say about feet and foot fetishes? Because we may have mentioned... Oh, I didn't mention it on stream. I talked with Vil beforehand, and I asked if Vil wanted to play some Dead by Daylight tonight, too.
Yeah,
so,
and I told Ava
So,
totally
after Feats, we're going to play Dead by Daylight. So is there anything else you'd like to say about feet? And chat, do you have any other questions about feet for Vil before we proceed to go try to survive? Yeah.
I mean, honestly, ask whatever questions you have if you have anything else. If not, I mean, I think we've covered most stuff. The biggest things for me were just, like, kind of covering, like, you know, obvious... I didn't mention it this stream, I don't think, but just for the record, if you are someone who is into feet and you were, like me, you know, before, who was more closeted about it, and maybe you were nervous about, you know, talking about it with your partners and that kind of thing, foot fetish is actually, like, sorry, not even one of. I'm pretty sure, at least from studies I've seen, that it is the most common kink outside of like.
I was gonna say, isn't it super common?
Yeah, it's literally, if not the most common, one of the most common kinks. And so if you have this kink and you are either ashamed or embarrassed about it or whatever, please don't be, because like I said, it's so common. You are far from alone, and obviously hopefully this stream even showed you that, you know, we're here talking about it. Ava's comfortable with it. All of you in chat, there were multiple people who were all you know, admitting that you were, you know, into it. So you are far from alone. You shouldn't be embarrassed or ashamed, and as long as you respect other people's boundaries and, you know, other people's comfort levels, it's okay to be open about it and to talk about it. So yeah, that's kind of my biggest takeaway, and one of the reasons why I, you know, have the kink positive community that I have is I want to make sure that I try to make sure that to normalize it and make other people feel comfortable about themselves.
And from my point of view, like, I'm not into it, but I always think it's good to like normalize things and talk about them, especially in a positive light. And like, again, I may not be into it, but I participate in it like willingly. Like if I have a partner who likes that type of thing, and I'm sure there's plenty of other people out there who do the same thing because you want to see your partner be happy.
Yeah, exactly. And hey, sometimes, you know, the friends also.
Yeah, sometimes the homies.
I'll answer a couple of these questions.
Yeah, I saw a couple. Here's the first one. A mutual link between macrophilia and feet?
Yeah, so for those who may not know what macrophilia is, that's the basically love of big things. So when we talk about like giant and giant test stuff, that's
size
what that
difference.
Is. Size difference, basically, yeah. So is there a link between them? I don't think there's an actual link, because you can definitely be into one or the other and not be, you know, into both. However, I think that the reason why you see so, like, feet is actually one of the most common kinks within the size difference community. And the reason why I think for that is because, for one, if you're into feet already, the idea of, oh, hey, it's feet, but more of it and bigger. And also, if you're a lot of people who are into feet are also into the dominance or femdom aspect, and macrophilia and size difference kind of like increases that, because it's like, oh, so it's not just a normal person who's dominating me, it's a giant person who has complete control over me. And also, if someone's giant, generally the only thing you might see is their feet, unless you look up. So I think there's multiple reasons why there might be a link. So is there an actual link? I don't think so, but is there reasons why you might have a trend of those two being crossover? Yes. Yeah. Ava does have cute feet. You're right, Gallows.
Thank you.
How do I feel about veiny feet? I'm generally not a huge fan of them. However, I have seen veiny feet that I find attractive, so I think it's just on a case-by-case basis.
Makes sense.
Zori said, only one I can think of. The others sometimes ask, does shoe size make any difference to you? Oh, even if it's size related. So here's the thing. I will say, because of my size difference love, and also obviously just feet in general, like, if there's more feet, if there's more foot to enjoy, then great. So I think I trend on, yes, I like and would maybe prefer larger feet, but also it does not matter to me at all, honestly, because especially since I'm into steppies and size difference stuff, if someone's standing over you and gonna step on you, they basically all look the same. So it doesn't, the actual size does not matter that much. And also,
wait,
I think it's also...
Go ahead.
Oh, go for it.
I had a question that it made me think of. So I know this is considered like, I don't know the word for it. They don't really do it anymore, and it's really bad practice, and maybe considered torturous. But in like ancient, is it Chinese culture, they would wrap feet to make them like really, really tiny. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I've heard of this. I don't know, like, I wouldn't be able to give you any information on it, but
okay.
I've heard of what you're talking about.
Well, I was gonna ask your opinion on it.
Yeah,
but if you don't really know about it.
No, I mean, yeah, no opinion, and I don't think that really plays into any, like, kink culture around the foot fetish stuff.
Okay. I was just
like you said,
curious.
I think that was just an old thing that happened back in the day. You
Well,
know?
it's because like I think it had something to do with like being small was considered beautiful at the time or something.
Yes.
Like
I mean,
one
yeah.
of those weird standards.
No, yeah. But one thing I do find interesting, even though I did say that I generally would say I prefer larger feet, there is something really nice about if someone is like more petite or has smaller feet. If someone like that dominates you, that's also kind of like a someone who might feel petite usually kind of having more of that like large and in charge vibe. I think is a nice thing.
Yes, Phil?
I'm leaving it at that. I'm leaving it at that.
Oh my god.
Do you have anything wrong with what I said?
No, it was just really funny because you're just like
Listen,
sorry.
we're on Twitch. I'm leaving it very
Ambiguous.
ambiguous. Exactly.
Yeah, which is fine.
IRL, there's like 3 close people who I know who have it and feel super odd IRL about it. Yeah, like I said, again, this is why I have this community, and also why I think partially Ava does these sex ed streams, is that we want to normalize these things.
Yeah, I want to normalize and educate people because, like you said before, a lot of times in the media, foot fetish is like, ooh, gross, feet, stinky, blah. But, like, people enjoy them, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Yep, and again, it is one of the most common kinks for a reason. You know what I mean? It's so weird to me. Here's what actually makes me mad. It makes me mad that feet is such a quote-unquote controversial or, like, taboo kink, when in reality it's, like, also the most common.
It's not weird. It's not, like, that weird, though. Like, thinking of the kinks I know of, like, feet is, like, nothing, you know?
Exactly, but because people automatically just go, ew, feet, gross. You know, that's why it has that reputation, and I hope to help, again, normalize it.
Yeah, and if you're not into it, hopefully if the person you're with likes feet, foot massages. I'm just saying, that's a bonus for you.
And also, listen, if you're just not into it at all, that's okay, but as long as you don't yuck anyone else's yum, or you don't kink shame people, then, that's it. This is actually for you.
Wait, for me?
Yeah, McKay's asked, what's your favorite toenail polish?
Mine? I like pink and sparkly. So I'm
not surprised.
I like doing my own nails, and I'll go get them done too at the salon. I like pink polish the best. I also like fun designs, but whenever I get polished, I always try to get like a sparkly one or a holographic one because I just like it. It's really fun because when I go out to like Disney and I'm out in the sun, I like watching it like sparkle everywhere.
Yep.
I'm very extra, and I will continue to be very extra, and everything I do will be extra. So yeah.
I love that you're extra. And Lucky, I like that. Lucky said mine is white.
Ooh.
White is a good color.
It can be a nice color.
I saw Blue Cornflower asked, are bunions unattractive? I personally don't find them attractive, but also I'm not saying they can't be attractive. I'm sure there's other people who do like them. But just for me personally, I don't find them specifically attractive. Let me see. I saw someone earlier, let me see, I can find it. Excalibur said tomies, which I find really funny when we said
That's
homie.
really cute. Are you gonna be tomies with me?
That's me.
Oh my god, I just saw something cursed.
Oh, no.
What if we interlock toes?
Oh my god. Okay, so here, I would like to point something out. People have joked with me about this multiple times. I'm not opposed to it. I think it's funny, but like, people talk about it as if I will get some kind of like interest or pleasure from interlocking toes. No, that is not. I don't know. Like,
I just thought it was cute because tomies could interlock toes. That's where my brain went with it.
Listen, playing footsie with someone be attractive? Yes.
Yes.
But like specifically interlocking toes, what the like? Even listen, I'm into it, and I'm the one going, what the fuck?
So, Phil, you won't interlock toes with me?
Hold on. I didn't say I wouldn't. I would. I could and I would, but it's not like I'm like, oh, Awooga, I can't wait to interlock toes.
I mostly just thought it was funny. I didn't think you'd get anything out of it. You know what I mean?
know. No, you're right. It is funny. I'm just saying other people have talked to me about this as if I would get something out of it, and I'm like, no, it's funny, and I would do it, but it's weird. I don't know.
I have seen that one, Lucky. That was what made me think of him, be honest. But, like, think about it. It'd be the best way to be like, we're Tomies now.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, for sure.
I would 100% tweet a picture of that.
I would do that.
Oh my god.
Okay, I'll have to remember this. Well,
you should add it to our Discord chat.
You know what? No context. I'm just gonna put
Tomies.
Yeah.
Wait,
there you go.
Add more than just Tomies, because I'd be like, what the fuck does this mean?
There.
That'd be like holding Tomies or something.
Platonic toe holding with the Tomies. Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. It'd be a good time.
And yes, Lucky, you don't even have to ask. Of course I saw the VTuber asset. I was I'm pretty sure I was on the front lines of finding that. Like, I saw it before everyone else started, like, you know, using it and posting it. Because I remember going to the original person who made that asset, and I was like, hello? Eyes emoji?
Like,
I
hello,
known,
friend.
yeah. I appreciate that a lot of people, when they're like, hey, like, I always think to tell you about a feet post I see on Twitter, but half the time when I look in the replies, you're already there. And I'm like, good, as I should be.
Oh, you mean like with the Foot VTuber model?
Yes, exactly.
So many people tweet,
I had 7 people mention me in the replies, and that's not even counting people who DM'd me or people who said, oh, I didn't tag you because I assumed you already saw it, but I immediately thought of you when I saw that model.
I think I mentioned before I was gonna like tag you in it, but then I saw you already tagged and I was like, oh, Bill probably does not want another one of these, and then I saw your tweet like, please stop tagging me this, I've seen it.
Okay, I won't lie, I wasn't actually annoyed, but it was hilarious because I love that I got to tweet that Plankton gif of him going, all right already, I get it! Like, oh, but for the record, if you ever see something foot related that you do want to tag me in just for funsies or because you genuinely want to show me it, please actually do it. I don't mind.
Okay.
I don't mind, and also, it does make me happy to know that my friends will see something and think of me, and I'm like, oh, yay. You know what I mean?
Well, I do. Like, remember when I saw the model that inspired this one? I was like, oh my god, Vil.
No, I love that you sent me that. I was like, let's go.
Sometimes you just see things and you're like, ha, that's my friend. My friend would like that.
Exactly. Let me see if there was anything else.
There was one more question. I think we answered that earlier, though.
Oh, what do you know what it was?
Yours is the bottom of the foot.
Oh yeah, what's my favorite part of the foot? Is that what the question was?
Oh, the question is, are all parts of the foot erotic, or are there parts people like more like toes and soles?
Oh, yeah, the answer is absolutely. The answer is yes. There are people who are into the foot fetish who like and prefer different parts of the foot. For me, I've talked about it. It's the underside of the toes and like the ball of the foot. So basically, the underside of the front part of the foot, pretty much. But there's other people like the heels, who like the soles, who like the tops of the feet, who like the toes, who you know, whatever. Yeah, there's everyone, just like how people have different preferences on anything else, you know.
Yeah. And people apparently like different speeds of kickies, I've learned.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, it is funny. Also, Vil, in general, are all foot parts of the foot? Oh, sorry, that is the question.
That was the question, you nuggy.
Okay. I thought it was earlier. I didn't know it was a newer one.
Man.
Okay, cool.
I think we're all caught up on questions if chat doesn't have any more.
Yeah. I really appreciate everyone being here. Thank you for, whether you're someone who this happens to relate to one of your interests, in which case, great. I'm glad we had a fun stream being able to talk about that. If you aren't personally interested, thank you for sticking around and learning more about it. And I hope that even if I didn't get you to, maybe this isn't on your kink list, but maybe at least you can now understand better, why other people might enjoy it. And hey, if we opened up your eyes to something new, awesome. And Lucky, it was good seeing you too.
And
I always love when my friends stop by to see these streams.
it is nice, isn't it?
I'm like, it's so funny too, because I like how my friends will stop by and I'm like, hey, thanks for coming by to hear me talk about kinks. I hope that interests you.
I've had a great stream. I finally just got home and I'd be so happy.
Welcome home, Fluffy. I hope you had a good time. Thank you for being part of the Gloopy Gang for 13 months. I love
Yay,
you.
Fluffy.
Welcome to
home.
the Gloopy Gang, Gloopy Gang.
Gloopy Gang. Thanks for being here. Good to see you, Fluffy. I love these kinds of streams. I'm glad you do, and I love you both. Oh, Lucky.
Aww,
You're
me
so
too.
sweet.
Is there anything else you want to say, Vil, before we switch over?
Nope. I said everything I wanted to say before, and then we did the questions, and yeah. So, again, thanks everyone for being here. I'm glad everyone enjoyed talking about feet.
Hey, I like talking about feet.
Listen. If you enjoyed us talking about this, obviously follow Ava if you're not already. If you're here, surely you should be. And also, if you liked me talking about this, guess what? I talk about this stuff all the time on my own stream. So
Vil does.
Give me a follow and come hang out if this sounded like fun.
Vil's very kink positive. And me and Vil are gonna be hanging out later this week.
Yeah, we're gonna be hanging out on Thursday at 7 p.m. EST. I'm very excited.
Is there anything specific we're talking about, or are we just vibing?
I don't think we have a specific, I'll think of a couple things, just a couple topics, but in general, I mean, literally, I think it's going to be us catching up, hanging out, talking. I know that you had kind of your break recently, and you went to Disney a bunch, and I thought it would be fun to talk to you about that. And, yeah.
I went to Disney and Universal. It was nice.
Yeah. So it's going to be Ava and I vibing and hanging out, which is always a fun time.
I think you have one last question in chat.
Oh, what's your opinion on veiny feet and muscle feet? So I mentioned veiny feet before. I said personally not my thing, but nothing wrong with that. And then muscle feet. I don't know what you mean by muscle feet, but if you mean just like feet on a muscular person, fuck yes.
Maybe strong feet.
Listen, I'm into strong feet. That means stronger steppies. I mean,
you're right. Okay, chat. I'm technically gonna end stream and then I'm gonna restart stream, but I'm gonna have it on just warming up for a minute so that I can go to the bathroom and Vil can go to the bathroom and we can refresh our drinks, and then we're gonna play some Dead by Daylight together.
Yeah, so we'll literally be right back, but we're gonna be playing a game.
Yeah, I love you all very much.